What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is episode number 610. Episode number 610 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody you know across the internet and throughout the world. Let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live, baby, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I love being independent now. Type in your browsers, add to your bookmarks, add to your favorites the following: ghost.report, okay? That's all you got to do. That's all you got to type into your browser. That's all you got to do, and then make sure you bookmark it. Make sure you add it to your favorites, all that good stuff. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, folks, I want to say what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. What's going on, baby? I want to say what's going on to everybody in there. And, of course, if you're listening and you want to know how to get into the True Capitalist Radio chat room, well, then listen very closely. All you've got to do is go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost. All right, and if you don't have yourself a free Gab account, well, I strongly advise you to get yourself one. I mean, this is the last bastion of freedom of speech and social media today. So once you get yourself a free Gab account, follow me on there under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores, folks. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And once you do so, folks, there's going to be a little button right there that says subscribe for premium content. Right there on my profile on Gab, Politics Ghost. Click the subscribe for premium content, folks. And once you do all that, private message me on Gab, okay? Private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name so I can give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room, which resides on Discord. And it's as easy as that, man, okay? And by the way, once again, next month in September, yeah, that's right, in September, we are going to be giving out we're going to be mailing out a physical newsletter to everybody who is subscribed to the True Capitalist Radio chat room, baby. I'm not even kidding around, okay? I mean, it's just a perk for being a part of the chat room, for subscribing, for some premium content. It's just a perk, baby. So let me tell you, everybody who's in the True Capitalist Radio chat room right now, everybody who's asking, when the hell are we going to get this? Well, look, let's wait till next month, and we're going to probably around the 10th or 11th, not the 11th, maybe the 12th or something, we will go ahead and start gathering up people's mailing addresses. Now, you can Gab it to me in private message because Gab pretty much purges messages after 7 days. Or if you're in the Discord chat room, you may be able to DM it to me. Either way, I am not going to be storing any of the addresses of anybody who's in the newsletter on the internet or on a computer. They are going to be on a physical file in a filing cabinet. So just in case anybody decides to be, Mr. Russian Hacksaw and decides that they want to, do something nefarious, they're not going to be able to find anybody from the True Capitalist Radio newsletter. All right, I'll tell you that right damn now. All right, I mean, this is in case they try to take us off the internets. They try to do an Alex Jones on us or something. They try to shut down our goddamn website. I will still be able to be in contact with everybody out there who has listened to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, all right? We need that kind of communication, baby. That's all there is to it. Now, before I get to the show, let me go ahead and give some shout-outs to the people that are in the True Capitalist Radio chat room right now. Let's start from the bottom. What's going on to Spectre? What's going on to the God of Rage? Tesla Cyberheart, Stagio in the house, Pepe the Frog, Metaform, McCain, hurry up and died. That's pretty funny, man. Madden 19 transitions over to GTA. I don't understand what the fuck that means. And shut up. This isn't some stupid, dumb troll shit. All right? Maybe that's why you're not going to get your goddamn autograph. You keep that shit up, pet Mexican, you piece of crap. Anyway, sorry for that. We got Insane Energy in the house. We've got Holden Capitalist. We got Herb Capitalist. We got Hans Uberlander. We got Capitalist America. Asher, what's up? The newest member of the True Capitalist Radio chat room. And Australian Capitalist. Hey, look, I'm joking, pet Mexican. I'm going to give yours. There's a couple of people that didn't get theirs for whatever reason. I'm not trying to blame the black guy that was, there at the post office. But, I'm just saying. Had a lot to do with it. I'm just saying. Anyway, look. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's start going into the nitty-gritty. Before we get into the crypto and stock talk, I want to talk about a couple of different subject matters before we get into that. Now, obviously, the first subject matter I'm going to get into is, I'm sure I don't even need to say it. You're probably saying it in your head right now. You're probably saying, Ghost is probably going to talk about the death of John Turncoat McCain. You're goddamn right I'm going to talk about the death of John Turncoat McCain. Now, before I talk about the death, I definitely want to talk about the pomp and circumstance going around about his death, for Christ's sake, man. Are you kidding me? Did you see everybody? Every news outlet is praising this guy when he's a goddamn traitor! And by the way, I do want to add that even though he died here about a couple of days ago, my article about John McCain being a traitor on Ghost.Report has gone viral. We have literally had about close to, I would say, 30 or 40,000 hits in the past couple of days just on that article alone. But, listen, I'm not going to say too much about John McCain. Everybody knows that I hated this man ever since I first started broadcasting as True Conservative Radio. All right? Back in 2008, 2009, I was saying that John McCain and his vice presidential candidate, Sarah Palin, were nothing more than the signification of the liberals taking over the Republican Party. And I said it, and you can look back in the archive, in the old archives, blogtalkradio.com/ghost, if you want to go take a look at those. I said back then that the GOP convention in 2008 was nothing more than a liberal coronation of the liberal takeover of the Republican Party. And that's why I took out the conservative out of my name. That's why I turned this broadcast from True Conservative Radio to True Capitalist Radio. And why is that, folks? Because after John Turncoat McCain's attempt at running for president in 2008, when they had that goddamn GOP convention, do y'all remember? I remember it like it was fucking yesterday, okay? I remember people prior to John McCain and Sarah Palin's nomination for the GOP in 2008. I remember conservatives that would once shun teenage pregnancy. I would know many conservatives that would shun getting pregnant before marriage or getting pregnant out of wedlock, etc. But by God, folks, I remember, and I was broadcasting during that goddamn time, when I saw conservative people go against principles that they once advocated for because, Sarah Palin's daughter was a teenage pregnant Alaskan hick that we all just had to accept. Y'all remember that shit? I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember conservatives saying, look, it's Sarah Palin's little daughter. Look, she's 16, 17 years old, but it doesn't matter. Look, she's got a little gift from God. She's got a gift from God. Look at it. She's just beautiful. People that would have shunned teenage pregnancy, people that would have shunned having kids out of wedlock, were now condoning this during the goddamn GOP 2008 convention. And I will never, ever forget that. Ever! And, of course, John Turncoat McCain brought this bitch as his vice presidential candidate. I'm talking about the stupid, dumb, airheaded Sarah Palin. And if you want my opinion, I think he did that on purpose. Because lest we forget, folks, Sarah Palin was an imbecile, okay? And you know what? Before I get off on Sarah Palin, I definitely want to find it ironic. I just want to put a little footnote here. I find it ironic that those of us on the right that are critiquing the lack of intelligence on this stupid, dumb socialist bimbo out of New York, the girl from the Bronx, bitch, the girl from the Bronx, bitch, I'm talking about Ocasio-Cortez. I find it funny that they are criticizing those of us on the right because we're criticizing her for being an idiot and not knowing shit from Shinola. These are the same people that were out here criticizing Sarah Palin. Now, look, I have no problem with it. I was criticizing Sarah Palin. I think Sarah Palin is the epitome of what real women should be against. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about women that move up any kind of hierarchy just because of the way they look. Not because of the content of their character, not because they have the knowledge to be in the position that they're in, just because of the way they look. And yet I don't hear any of these feminists advocating that at all or talking about that one bit. I mean, classic case in point is Sarah fucking Palin. I'm sorry. I mean, I know she's supposed to be on my side. She's a fucking idiot! I mean, does everybody remember that stupid little NBC rodent? What was her name? Katie Couric? Remember that stupid little freaking journalistic rodent, Katie Couric? She came out and asked her, what are your favorite media outlets when you read every day? And Sarah Palin goes, oh, you know, all of them. And, of course, Katie Couric, her being the rodent journalist she is, she's going to pry in on that and say, well, why don't you just name us a couple? Just name us a few outlets that you look to every single day to enhance your view on the world. All of them? I mean, folks, she literally answered the term all of them like 2 or 3, 4 times, okay? And, of course, that made her look like an idiot, okay? Then she was interviewed by Glenn Beck. And Glenn Beck was giving her a softball from hell interview, and he asked her one question, and it shouldn't be that hard, right? Who was your favorite founder? Right? I mean, that's what Glenn Beck asked Sarah Palin. Who was your favorite founder? And you know what she said? All of them. All of them. Jesus Christ. All of them. All of them. I mean, you can understand where I'm coming from, right, folks? I mean, you could tell that Sarah Palin used the term all of them, to get herself out of questions that she had no idea that she had the answer. She had no idea what she's talking about. Now, look, I don't want to relive Sarah Palin, okay, but I'm just simply stating that ever since John McCain ran for president and got this stupid ditzy hick Alaskan dunce, that the Republican Party no longer obliged a conservative principle whatsoever. The conservative movement escaped the Republican Party when John Turncoat McCain ran for president in 2008. If you don't believe me, why don't you rewatch the GOP 2008 the 2008 GOP convention. Go watch that shit again. I'm sorry, I'm so pissed off just thinking about it. I used to be a conservative, damn it. I used to live my life under those principles until those fucking people came along in 2008 and flushed every conservative principle down the fucking toilet. But no, I'm supposed to be like, yeah, John McCain's a great guy. John McCain's this. John McCain that. You know what I got to say to John McCain? I got something to say to John McCain. You know what I got to say to John McCain and his damn death at this point in time? Put on the music.
Oh, you died. Wow, you died.
Lol, you died. Lol, you died. Lol, you died. With me, come and sing it with me.
You died. Wow, you died.
Lol, you died. Lol, you died. There he is, John McCain. Lol, you died. You took conservatism out of the Republican Party, you fucking rhino. Lol, you died. Come on. Shake your ass with me. Shake it with me. Lol, you died. Lol, you died. All right, turn that shit off. Turn it off. Turn it the fuck off. Look, I'm going to end this John McCain rant on the fact that not only was this goddamn son of a bitch a person that turned the Republican Party into the rhino pseudo-democratic bullshit that it was up until Trump came along, but lest we forget, folks, all right, that this son of a bitch was also a traitor to his country. Now, if you want to go take a look at the article that yours truly wrote on Ghost.Report about John McCain, I strongly advise you doing so. It's called John McCain is No War Hero. John McCain is a traitor! And why do I say he's a traitor? Because once again, I hate to bring up this recording again, but for whatever reason, the mainstream media refuses to fucking acknowledge it, and I'm talking about the John McCain Tokyo Rose. The Tokyo Rose recording in which he sold out himself and sold out his country for propaganda that was played through the airwaves of the North Viet Cong. And you know how we got a hold of this? In August of 2016, a researcher that was scourging through the National Archives had found this John Turncoat McCain Tokyo Rose Vietnam confession that was aired over the radio waves of the North Viet Cong. He found this in a CIA box that was mislabeled. Found these recordings, listened to them, and found out it was none other than John Turncoat McCain. Now, I am going to play this one mo again, and then we're going to move on. Because I want everybody to know that John McCain is no war hero. He's a fucking traitor. And why isn't the media covering this? I have no goddamn idea. None. No idea why John McCain isn't being brought out and shamed because he sold his country and sold himself out in a goddamn recording. Now, I'm going to play this recording that was found once again in August 2016 in the National Archives by some independent researcher. It was mislabeled, it was labeled CIA tapes or some crap. The researcher looked it up, listened to it, and here it was. John Turncoat McCain. Let's go ahead and listen to it right now. Turn it on, engineer. This is the Tokyo Rose John McCain recording. Here we go. Hold on just a second. There we go.
To the Vietnamese people and the government of the AFVN, from John Sidney McCain, 624787, Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Navy, born 29 August 1936, Panama, home state, Oregon. Shot down 26 October 1967, A4E aircraft. I, as a U.S. airman, am guilty of crimes against the Vietnamese country and people. I have bombed their cities, towns, and villages and caused many injuries, even death, to the people of Vietnam. I was captured in the capital city of Hanoi while attacking it. After I was captured, I was taken to the hospital in Hanoi, where I received very good medical treatment. I was given an operation on my leg, which allowed me to walk again, and a cast on my right arm, which was badly broken in 3 places. The doctors were very good, and they knew a great deal about the practice of medicine. I remained in the hospital for some time and regained much of my health and strength. Since I arrived in the camp of detention, I have received humane and lenient treatment. I received discount treatment and food even though I came here as an aggressor, and the people who I injured have much difficulty in their living standards. I wish to express my deep gratitude for my
shut
kind
up.
treatment, and I will never
Look at
forget
this.
it.
Look, this is a fucking traitor. And if y'all didn't listen to it, let me read it to you, okay? This is John Turncoat McCain's Tokyo Rose recording, and I'm reading it to you. To the Vietnamese people and the government of the DRVN, I, John Sidney McCain, 624787, Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Navy, born 29 August 1936 in Panama, home state, unaudible. There was a little unaudible piece there. Shot down 26th of October 1967 in an A-4 aircraft. I, as a U.S. airman, am guilty of crimes against the Vietnamese country and people. I have bombed their cities, towns, and villages and caused many injuries, even death, to the people of Vietnam. I was captured in the capital of Hanoi while attacking it. After I was captured, I was something inaudible for the hospital in Hanoi, where I received very good medical treatment. I was given an operation on my leg, which allowed me to walk again, and a cast on my right arm, which was badly broken in 3 places. The doctors were very good, and they knew a great deal about the practice of medicine. I remained in the hospital for some time and regained much of my health and strength. Since I arrived in the camp of detention, I have received humane and something inaudible treatment. I have received this good treatment and food, even though I came here as an aggressor, and the people who I injured have much difficulty in their living standards. I wish to express my deepest gratitude for my kind treatment and will never forget this kindness extended to me. Are you kidding me? Does everybody know that the U.S. Military Code of Conduct, Article 5, when questioned, should I become a prisoner of war, I am required to give name, rank, service number, and date of birth. I will evade answering questions to the utmost of my ability. I will make no oral or written statements disloyal to my country and its allies or harmful to their cause. And here I've just showed you, or had you all listen to a Tokyo Rose broadcast of none other than John Turncoat McCain that was once again found in the National Archives by a researcher who happened to have found it in a box marked CIA Archives that was mislabeled, that he himself had to physically listen to find. And luckily we found it, folks. So he's a goddamn traitor, and anybody who thinks that John Turncoat McCain is anything else but a traitor, you're a goddamn traitor. You understand that? You're a goddamn traitor! Anyway, rest in piss, John McCain, all right? I'm glad you hurry up and died! All right. Now, another thing I want to talk about is an unfortunate incident that I had on Gab earlier this afternoon. Now, if y'all folks look on my Gab, I got into a somewhat of an informal debate with an asshole who calls himself Microchip. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Microchip's work, he was the spamming asshole on Twitter that created all kinds of Twitter bots and, spammed the hell out of Twitter to the point where they completely outlawed him off Twitter completely, okay? And because he thought that he ran a bunch of Twitter bots that were pro-Trump, he actually believes in his stupid Canadian bacon head, yeah, he's Canadian, that he had something to do with Donald Trump being elected. That's what all these fucking wannabe celebs think, all right? Now, the reason I got into it was because he decided to start running his mouth about me, and I'm going to talk about what he did, okay? Let me just read to you this little exchange that I had with this so-called alt-right white nationalist, all right? This fucking asshole Microchip. Now, he, for whatever reason, starts talking garbage about me, saying, Ghost is fucking dumber than dog shit. Anyone who talks about capitalism in 2018 is a moron. Fuck Ghost, and fuck you for listening to such a shitty podcast. Now, did you all hear that right there, folks? This is Microchip, a supposed voice. I mean, he was interviewed by BuzzFeed. Now, isn't it ironic that all these alt-right pricks are always interviewed by leftist media rags. I'm just saying. Anyway, he was interviewed by BuzzFeed and all these fucking dumb, stupid left-wing rags. He thinks he's such a cool e-celeb. And I had to respond to him because he's just talking garbage. So I responded, Microchip is a Canadian cuck who thinks his botting of Twitter accounts actually accomplished something in 2016. Meanwhile, his moose-humping country is being taken over by immigrants while he wastes his time on the internet trolling on social media for the United States. You will never be an American, Microchip, no matter how hard you try. Signed, Ghost. And of course he didn't like that very much. He wrote back, you're stupid, you're fucking stupid fuck. Capitalism isn't even a tiny, I don't know what anymore. I don't know what the hell that meant. This is exactly what he said. I'm reading you verbatim what he said, okay? You're such a fucking stupid fuck. Capitalism isn't even a tiny anymore. We use fully fleshed out hybrid systems to maintain social welfare. You're stuck in the 1700s, and you don't even know it. You're the worst kind of armchair economist, and everyone is stupider for listening to your retarded rants. And then I responded, didn't I say that the alt-right and white nationalists are really socialists? Microchip, like everyone on the left, wants collective rule over the means of production, so his loser family and friends can get their, quote, fair share. This is proof that the extreme right is really the communist left. And it really is, folks. I mean, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? This guy's talking about hybrid welfare systems. I never even heard of such a thing, okay? But then he goes on. And he goes, there you go again with the 1700s speak again. You just don't get it. The hybrid system of the social welfare is the only system today that would strike a balance between ending up in a perpetual revolution or everyone ending up rich as fuck. There's a reason for this balance, and unfortunately, you're too stupid to understand that. And I mean, did y'all hear that? I had to respond to him and say, listen to Microchip here. He believes that, quote, hybrid welfare is something that needs to be enforced by the state, obviously. So, quote, people have balance? Only socialist garbage would argue that they deserve to be housed, clothed, fed, and paid just because they were shitted out of their mother. Nothing more. And who pays for all these generous free perks, for these wastes of life? The productive capitalist who actually is working or producing something. And then I told this idiot, get off the internet and get a job, faggot. And then I gabbed, I should say, a experiment. I don't know if y'all have seen this. It's called the Mouse Utopia. And in the Mouse Utopia, what they did, these doctors, they threw a colony of mice, like a small colony of mice, in a controlled environment in which they had indefinite amounts of food, water. You know, they didn't have to worry or think about those things. They were there indefinitely, at ease. And then what they found is that when they, and I'm talking about the scientists, gave these mice infinite sustenance, it led to the demise of their social systems, order, sanity, and civilization itself. And I think it was a great testament if we were, in the most romantic sense, obliged these socialists and communists and decided to collectively allocate all resources of the world so that every human being is clothed, housed, fed, etc. It's a very interesting experiment. And that's why I gabbed it at him. I said, behold, the Mouse Utopia experiment. Watch and learn how infinite sustenance leads to the demise of social systems, order, sanity, and civilization itself. Yet, socialists/communists on the right, like Microchip, will argue that, quote, forced hybrid welfare will bring a utopia. This goes against all life on this earth and nature itself. Hence, why socialism/communism never works. Never works. And then he keeps talking about this general equilibrium theory. You know what I mean? You know, he comes back and he goes, laughing my ass off, that's your argument and experiment with rats? And I go, hey, ass clown, you said nothing in this exchange but constantly spamming general equilibrium theory, which was written by a French socialist, Leon Walras. You have proven me right that you and your alt-right white nationalist cohorts want the same endgame as Antifa, and that's socialism. So stop claiming to be right-wing and stop promoting my president, you Canadian faggot! And then, of course, he goes, did you just go to socialist-owned Wikipedia to pull up that information about Walrus? And I go, you fucking asshole. Leon Walras, this French fucking idiot, championed the nationalization of land, moron. I mean, do you understand that is communist beyond communist? That's what the Chinese right now are doing. You can't own land. The nationalization of land, you fucking idiot. And then I actually gave him a link to Leon Walras's works. The Socialism. This idiot didn't even know that this guy... This is the name of his fucking book. The Socialism of Leon Walras and His Economic Thinking. I mean, and then I told this guy, you've proved to me that you're an alt-right-ing, LARPing faggot who wants socialism because you're too incompetent to be an independent individual capitalist. And then I gave him a link to the work of Leon Walras. And then I'm going to end it here. And then Microchip responds, it doesn't fucking matter what he thought. What? Wait a minute. You're quoting this asshole, and you're all, it doesn't fucking matter what he thought. So look, this is what I'm telling each and every one of you, okay? All you alt-right white nationalist idiots, you all want the same endgame as Antifa. Let's stop fucking around about it. Let's stop beating the bush about it. You people want socialism. And the reason that you want socialism is because you are too incompetent to be a capitalist. You're too lazy. You're too incompetent. You're too unintelligent. You just can't. And it's easier for you to be like, I just want to be clothed and I just want to be housed and that's what I want to be. Go fuck yourself, all right? Microchip and all you fucking idiots on the alt-right white nationalists, go fuck off. You socialist scumbags, all right? And I'm calling you all out once again as a bunch of fucking socialists, all right? A bunch of fucking socialists is what you are. Why don't you just come out and admit it? Why don't you just come out and instead of pretending that you're against Antifa and instead of pretending that you're against the left, why don't you all just fucking hold hands and sing fucking Kumbaya to socialism? Because I know that's what you want, you piece of crap. Anyway, look, I'm going over on time, but I want to cover one more subject, all right, before I get into the goddamn economic part of the broadcast, okay? Did you all hear... I don't even, you know what? I don't even know if I should even go over this because I'm probably going to say some really fucked up shit that I'm probably going to fucking, well, maybe not regret, but anyway, look, okay? I just want to be honest. I have to tell you about this. Did you hear about this 9-year-old Denver kid who committed suicide after being bullied at school because, quote, he was gay? A 9-year-old boy, okay, apparently comes out of the closet and says he's gay, and because the kids are like, oh my God, you fucking faggot, what do you call it? Go kill yourself. I mean, the kids were pretty raw at 9 years old. This kid goes out and he kills himself. Now, when I first heard about this, I had to dig into it. I had to investigate what is behind a 9-year-old not only admitting he's gay, but committing suicide. How the hell do 9-year-olds know how to commit suicide? I mean, give me a break. Anyway, folks, if you take a look at this story, if you want my personal opinion, it looks like a single mother. And of course, it doesn't say that in the story, but it looks like it to me because I'm looking at this and I'm not judging. But I'm looking at this, and it seems as if that this child is a half-black, half-white child, which typically means that this mother is raising this child on her own, okay? Now, I'd like to know, first and foremost, how does a 9-year-old kid know that he's gay unless he's been molested? How does a 9-year-old kid know he's gay unless he's been molested? I mean, let's be adult LGBTQ, okay? I mean, all your fucking little, oh, I'm a lesbian, I'm gay, and I'm tranny, and I'm a bisexual, I'm queer. All that shit means is how you like to fuck, all right? I mean, let's stop with the shenanigans. That's the way it is. Whenever you say you're gay, it means you like to take meat in the can, all right? It means that you like your fudge pushed. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? How does a 9-year-old kid know that he's gay? Now, of course, the stupid mother here, all right? What is this stupid mother's name? She doesn't even have the same last name as her kid, so that tells you a lot, all right? But this mother here says that bullying was the factor of her son's death, who started 4th grade last week. Now, according to her, Jamal, yeah, that's his name, came out to her this summer as gay. She says, quote, he looked so scared when he told me, and he was like, Mom, I'm gay, and I thought he was playing, so I looked back because I was driving, and he was all curled up and so scared. And I said, I still love you. I still love you. Are you fucking kidding me, man? I can't believe that this story, okay, is not asking more questions than it is. Because I'd like somebody to answer me that question. How does a 9-year-old kid know that they're gay? How does a 9-year-old kid know that he's gay unless he's been molested? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. And of course, this is a single mother. She doesn't even have the same last name as the kid. So obviously, if she has more kids, she probably has multiple kids from multiple different fathers. And once again, what does it all go back to? Single mothers, folks. Single goddamn mothers. Jesus Christ. Anyway, look, I didn't want to talk too much about this. It's a shame that this kid killed himself. I didn't even know that 9-year-olds knew how to kill themselves. But no, I mean, here we have a 9-year-old kid committing suicide because supposedly he came out as gay. Anyway, folks, let me go to the markets because this is, I mean, what a sick world. You know, I don't have any beer, but I got a can of cola. I got a can of cola here. So let me just go ahead and take a sip of this can of cola, and we'll move on to the markets because I know that's what everybody wants to talk about. But good God, am I wrong for suggesting that a 9-year-old kid that comes out as gay is a molested kid? Has been some kid that has been molested, that has been penetrated? How the hell do you know at 9 years old that you like to take it up the pooper? How the hell do you know at 9 years old that you like to play the flesh flute? How the hell do you know this? You don't! You can't tell me you do. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just another attempt at liberals and leftists and Democrats attempting to sexualize your children. They're sexualizing your children, damn it. 9-year-old gay kid. I've heard it all now, man. Give me my Coca-Cola. Good God. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about crypto. Now, folks, what have I told you about these major contractions that we've been having in the cryptocurrency market? They're directly correlated with the rise and the fall of the U.S. dollar. Now, as you've seen, folks, the U.S. dollar today is down 0.5%. You take a look at the U.S. dollar index chart. And because of that, that is perfectly reflected into the cryptocurrency markets today. Now, let's take a look at the current market capitalization of the cryptocurrency markets. Right now, folks, the cryptocurrency markets are at $224 billion market capitalization. $224 billion market capitalization. Now, why is this? Well, there's a lot of reasons, folks. But one of the big things that are really kind of bringing cryptocurrency into the mainstream, believe it or not, is Venezuela attempting to kind of burn their own cryptocurrency when I think it's too little too late. Because according to reports, folks, it's been the cryptocurrency Dash that has been used majorly, not just in Venezuela, but in other South American countries as a substitute for many poor fiat currencies that circulate South America. And as a result, we're going to go ahead and cover Dash right now because I told you about this coin. Didn't I tell you about this coin, folks? Didn't I tell you about it? I like Dash for a lot of different reasons. I mean, you know, you got fast transaction, low transaction fee. I mean, it's one of the first kids on the blockchain, formerly known as Dark Coin. Now, let me explain what's happening. Now that we have Dash being circulated in Venezuela beyond the, I don't know, Petro coin or whatever the hell that Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, tried to mint out to kind of offset his ridiculous Bolivar fiat. But it seems as if Dash seems to be dominating the cryptocurrency arena of South America, folks. And what really has taken off today is that Dash announced that it has provided a Dash ecosystem for Latin America in certain types of mobile devices. Now, Dash Pay is what it's announced, has announced an exclusive relationship with Crypto Mobile to provide Latin Americans with an affordable way of acquiring and using Dash for everyday transactions. Phones are preloaded with complete Dash ecosystem. Now, we know there's some billions of people out there, at least over a billion people out there in South America. And if South America is already kind of circulating Dash amongst themselves, if they have some kind of a mobile device to use, it's even going to get that much more mainstream. So with that being said, folks, let's take a look at what happened to Dash today, okay? Dash, D-A-S-H, it's a big winner today. Current market cap is $1.4 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply is 8.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Dash has gone up, folks. Listen to this. 27.44 points on the day. Let me repeat that one more again, all right? 27.44 points on the day. The current price, folks, for Dash is $180.54 per Dash, all right? I'm not even joking around. And by the way, folks, if you have not gotten a mining contract, all right, I would strongly advise people to do it now, all right? Let me go ahead and get this ready for everybody, and let me tell you a story. We had some people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room that purchased the smallest amount of Dash contracts, and they speculated that, hey, look, Dash looks pretty good for a mining contract, even at the rate that it is for the lowest package, because we have bag holders on Dash up to about $1,600. So why not get, the low-end mining contract from Genesis-mining.com, and let's just go ahead and get a 2-year contract at 200 and change. All right, let's just do this. And as a matter of fact, go ahead and take a look at my Gab right now. Take a look at my Gab. Check a look at my Gab right now. I'm telling you, folks, get yourself a cryptocurrency mining contract while you can, because the prices of cryptocurrency are at lows. We're seeing a downward trend towards the U.S. dollar. And as the U.S. dollar continues to go down in value here in the short term, we're going to see a major increase in crypto. And what's beautiful about it is, folks, is that everybody in the inner circle that bought a Genesis-mining.com contract back in April 2017, May of 2017, they've already quintupled their money. I'm not even kidding around, no matter what contract that you bought. So once again, genesis-mining.com. And of course, if you're going to buy one, use a discount code. Everybody's got to use a discount code, baby. Use discount code WEA296. Use the discount code, baby. It's that easy. WEA296. Anyway, cheers to everybody out there who purchased a Dash mining contract in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. I mean, you're already ahead of the game. All right, you're already ahead of the game. When you've got almost 30% on your money on one day bump alone, I mean, you know that we're heading up to those highs that we once saw in Dash at about $1,500-$1,600. All right, now let's go ahead and let's talk about some other cryptocurrencies. Let's get to Bitcoin, folks. Bitcoin, BTC. Current market cap is $118 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 17.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone up. Everything is up, baby, but Bitcoin is up 2.79%. Folks, what did I tell you? What did I tell you last week? We're going to see a run here. Current price for Bitcoin, $6,900.87 per Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum, ETH. Current market cap is $29 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply is 101 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum has gone up 3.86%. Current price for Ethereum is $285.53. Let's get to Bitcoin Cash, folks. Here we go, Bitcoin Cash. And by the way, people are asking in the chat room, can I pay Genesis-mining.com with crypto? Of course you can. Of course you can, baby. It's a crypto company, baby. Of course you can. Anyway, Bitcoin Cash, BCH, current market cap is $9.4 billion market cap. Circulating supply is 17.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin Cash has gone up 3.96%. Current price for Bitcoin Cash, $543.21 per Bitcoin Cash. Let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin current market cap is $3.4 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 58 million in circulation for LTC is the symbol for Litecoin. In the past 24 hours, Litecoin has gone up, folks, 5.11%. Current price for Litecoin is $60.15 per Litecoin. What did I tell you about Monero, folks? It likes to run, short and pattern swing trading for this one. Monero XMR, current market cap is $1.6 billion market cap for Monero. The circulating supply is 16.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, what did I tell you, folks? Monero is up 8.54% on the day. Current price for Monero is $103.52 per Monero. Let's go to Zcash, another one that's going up and up and up and up. Let's take a look at it right now, folks. Zcash, ZEC, current market capitalization is $695 million market cap. The circulating supply is a nice and low 4.6 million in circulation. Check this out, folks. In the past 24 hours, Zcash has gone up 9.11%. Current price for Zcash is $148.84 per Zcash. And I like Zcash, folks. I'm telling you this. I like Zcash. Remember, we have people holding bags on Zcash all the way to about 800 and change. And I don't see why this isn't a $1,000 coin at this point, in my opinion, for a lot of factors. But let's just continue going. Let's get to 0x, folks, because it has popped off the charts. ZRX, folks, you know what it is. It's been acquired by Coinbase. Etc. You know the whole deal that I've been saying about 0x, folks. Current market capitalization is 428 million in market cap. The circulating supply is 537 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, 0x has gone up 11.52%. Current price for 0x is 79 cents, going on 80 cents, folks, okay? Now let's get to Quantum. Now, folks, if you did not stack your chips on Quantum during the time of these contractions, then you're a goddamn, I hate to say it, you're an imbecile. I hate to say it. I'm not, I mean, sorry. I don't mean to be, out of line here, but let's just be honest. All right, I'm just saying. But let's go ahead and get to Quantum here for a second. Hold on. Let me put it on another computer so I can get a better perspective here. All right, QTUM is the symbol, folks, okay? Current market capitalization is $401 million in market capitalization. The circulating supply, folks, $88 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Quantum has gone up 9.35%. So almost 10% on Quantum, baby. Current price for Quantum is $4.52 per Quantum. And like I said, we're waiting for that value to creep on up. All right, because we're all waiting for the release or the general release of the x86 virtual machine, which is going to revolutionize the smart contract technology of QTUM. And once that comes out, baby, I don't think QTUM is going to be second to none out here in cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, we've got some people in the inner circle that are entertaining the idea of creating decentralized applications on the QTUM blockchain because you can write smart contracts outside the Solidity framework that was written and coded by goddamn Vitalik from Ethereum. I mean, you can program decentralized applications on QTUM with C, with Python, with Rust, and I think one or two other program languages. So you just wait and see. Aside from waiting to see this value to go up in the same trajectory as Ethereum, the proof of stake, baby. The proof of stake, meaning that you yourself get payments for just holding your Quantum in your Quantum Core wallet. Now, some people get mistaken that because they have a Quantum wallet on their phone that they're staking their Quantum. You are not staking your Quantum on your wallet. Okay, you have to put it on a PC or put it on a Raspberry Pi or something therein. As a matter of fact, somebody in the inner circle, much props to that individual, he actually wrote a script that makes it bare bones easy for anyone to just go ahead, execute this script in a Raspberry Pi, and then, boom, you've got yourself a box in which you can go ahead and mine your Quantum in your wallet and just leave it on your desk, and the damn thing's just there. It's on. It's like 88 cents a month that it's going to charge you in electricity. You know what I mean? I'm not even kidding. So look, and look, if you're too lazy to do that, they do have some things called a stake box. So you can go ahead and take a look at that if you want to take a look, all right? I mean, it is what it is. I'm just trying to help you guys to try to get some money on this proof of stake. I mean, there's no reason buying Quantum if you're not going to stake your payments, man. You got to stake your payments. Anyway, let me continue on here. Let me get to two more cryptocurrencies, and then we're moving on because I've wasted a lot of time talking about a couple of things here. Let's get to Basic Attention Coin once again. The reason I like Basic Attention Coin, folks, is because at least it has a product. And its product is a browser. It actually has a browser that it has distributed freely. And what they're trying to do is get widespread usage of this browser so that it can integrate this content creator patronage type of platform, in which people like yourselves who listen to the True Capitalist radio broadcast could simply, throw some Basic Attention Coin my way via your browser without having to worry about, addresses and this and that. So I like Basic Attention Coin. It's got a product. It's going places, in my opinion. So that's why I take a look at it. And it's cheap. Basic Attention Coin, BAT. Current market cap is $220 million in market capitalization. The circulating supply, $1 billion. $1 billion in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Basic Attention Coin has gone up 6.66%. Current price for Basic Attention Coin is 22 cents. 22 cents, going on 23 cents. Now let's get to my favorite here, 42 coin. Now, I don't know if everybody saw that during the decrease in the markets, that 42 coin started gaining in value. Now, once again, the reason I like 42 coin is because it's low circulation. It's a perfect hedge against any kind of contraction. It is a long-term investment, or if you're one of these people that pattern or short trade play, I mean, this is a perfect pattern or short trade play as far as I'm concerned. And that's why I like it. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to acquire as much of this coin as possible for a lot of reasons, and I think I've made that known on this broadcast. So let's just go ahead and cover this. 42 coin, symbol 42, current market cap is $849,000. The circulating supply, folks, is 42 coins. That's it. Of course, in the past 24 hours, it has gone down because look at the market today. It's all gone up. It is down 8.65%. Current price for 42 coin, $20,220.11 per 42 coin. Now, let's go ahead and get to the stock market, shall we, folks? Now, stocks are at all-time highs, baby. We have reached all-time highs today, believe it or not. These are record highs. What did I tell each and every one of you in 2017? I said that I was pure bullish in the stock market for 2018. Now, why did I say that? I mean, just based on the tax cuts alone. Based on the tax cuts alone, all these corporations have to do is meet their numbers that they made in 2017 and 2018, and because they're going to pay less taxes, by default, they're going to have better than expected earnings. So this is why you're seeing this, and let's not forget that the president today announced that it is ripping the NAFTA deal as we know it, ripping it in half, and we have negotiated a new deal with Mexico, bilaterally, United States and Mexico. And I think that this is a very good sign, folks, because Mexico at this point in time, it needs a middle class. And even though President AMLO may be a leftist socially, I think he understands that if he builds a class, or a middle class, I should say, if he builds a middle class during his presidential tenure, he will go down in Mexico history. So, I mean, it makes sense why, you know, AMLO is being a little bit more rational when it comes to negotiating trade deals, man. And guess what? Canada's out of it. Canada's out of it. We don't, you know what, Canada? I don't know what the hell you're doing. I don't know where you're coming from. But you know what? Get the hell out of here, right? We're doing business with Mexico. You know what I'm saying? We're not out here, you know, doing this garbage here, right? Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's just go ahead and continue going here. Hold on, I got to kick somebody out of the damn chat room there. Let's just kick his ass out. Let's just kick his ass out. Nah, there's no going to the woodshed. We just kicked him out. Get out of here! Anyway, sorry about that, folks. Had to kick somebody out of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, not even thinking twice about it. But anyway, like I said, folks, we had a deal, a new deal with Mexico, and this is what sent all the investors buying into this stock market, baby. Once again, record stock market today. Let's go ahead and take a look. Dow Jones Industrial is up. Get this, 259.29 points, a percentage increase of 1.01%, closing out the Dow Jones Industrial at 26,049.64 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. Dow Jones Industrial, that is. The S&P 500 is also up today, folks, 22.05 points, a percentage increase of 0.77%, closing out the S&P at 2,896.74 points for the S&P 500. We've got the NASDAQ. It's also up 71.92 points, a percentage increase of 0.91%, closing out the NASDAQ at, get this, folks, 8,000. We're at NASDAQ 8,000, baby. 8,017.90 points for the NASDAQ composite. Good God. Good God. But what did I tell you? I told you in 2017 that 2018 stock market was going to be bullish as hell. And the prognosticator of prognosticators strikes again, baby. Woo! Good Coke. Anyway, folks, we are now in the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire, all right? Spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody know across the internets and throughout the world. Let them know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And it is, look, type this in your damn browser and, of course, add it to your bookmarks, add it to your favorites. Ghost.report. All right? Ghost.report. That's all. It's as simple as that, baby. That's what you add to your add to your bookmarks, add to your favorites. That's the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Ghost.report. And, of course, I want to say what's going on to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. How are you doing, folks? Cheers to everybody who's in there. What's going on? It seems as if we got a little technical difficulty with the streaming little bot, but don't worry about it. Everybody's listening to the broadcast, and that's all good. What's going on to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room? If you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, then listen very carefully. All you've got to do is go to my Gab account right now. Go to my Gab. Check out my Gab. And my Gab account is Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost. And by the way, if you don't have a Gab, then I don't know what the hell you're doing, for Christ's sake, all right? Then I don't know what the hell you're doing. I mean, if you don't have a Gab account, it's the last bastion of freedom of speech on the internet today. Get yourself one. And follow me on there under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, you see that button that says click for premium content, huh? Subscribe for premium content. Subscribe for premium content. Click that button right there. And once you do, once you fulfill all the obligations there, private message me on Gab. Private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name so I can give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. And once again, I want to reiterate, we will be giving out physical newsletters mailed out to people's home addresses starting next month in September. So I would strongly advise everybody, start signing up now. All right? Go to my Gab, Politics Ghost, click the subscribe button for premium content, and subscribe now before it gets a little hectic, Anyway, let me go ahead and say cheers. I'm once again, folks, we're like 56 days or something in for no alcohol. Thank God, man. And let me tell you, I had a horrible anxiety attack last night. Horrible anxiety attack last night. And I couldn't believe it. I was, Mrs. Ghost was like trying to calm my ass down. and it's just unbelievable. But you know what? I grit and bear it. You keep going, and fuck it. Let me go ahead and take a swig of this Coke. Good stuff. And let's continue on with the broadcast, and let's finish up with the financials here. Since we went ahead and talked about stocks, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about commodities, folks. Now, everything in commodities should be green unless the investors deem it overproduced. Because remember, we're seeing the U.S. dollar slide. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in commodities right now. WTI sweet crude is up 24 cents, a percentage increase of 0.35%. Current price for WTI sweet crude is $69.11 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude oil also up, folks, 28 cents. A percentage increase of 0.37%, closing out Brent crude at $76.49 per barrel of Brent crude oil. We've got gasoline up today, 0.08%. Natural gas is unchanged, and heating oil is up 0.31%. Let's go ahead and get to the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's get to the goddamn metals! We've got gold, folks. It is up $2.20. A percentage increase of 0.18%. Current price for gold is $1,218.20 per troy ounce of gold. We've got silver up 2 cents. A percentage increase of 0.12%. Closing out silver at $14.99 per troy ounce of silver. We've got copper up 0.16%. We've got platinum up 0.47%. Let's go ahead and get to agriculture, shall we? Grains, corn, baby. Corn is down 0.41%. Wheat is up 0.24%. Oats is up 0.39%. Rough rice is up 0.14%. Soybeans is down 0.15%. Soybean oil is up 0.28%. And canola is down 0.84%. Let's go ahead and get to the soft, shall we? Cocoa, the base of chocolate, it is down slightly today, 0.76%. Coffee, it is up 1% on the day. Sugar is up 2.74% increase on the day. Good God! We've been seeing some big-time increases in sugar, if I don't say so myself. Let's go to orange juice. Orange juice is up 0.19%. Cotton is up 2.09%. Lumber is down 0.58%. And rubber is down 0.91%. And ethanol is down 0.69%. Let's get to livestock. Now, folks, take a look at how much livestock is going up, man. If you like fucking ham bones, it's going to cost you. Let's just go ahead and take a look at it, and let's get this over with. Live cattle right now is up 2.44% increase on the day. Cattle feeder is up 2.28% increase on the day. And folks, take a look at goddamn lean hog. Take a look at lean hog. Lean hog is up 5.79% on the day. Good God! And that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, all right? Anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in with me. Once again, this is episode number 610. This is August 27th, 2018, the last Monday of the summer. As a matter of fact, at the end of this week, the summer's over, headed into the fall, and I hope everybody's excited about it, man. The holidays is coming once again, and before I get to President Trump news, I just want to give a little side note. Don't you think that time flies at this point in time? I mean, it seems like yesterday that we were just doing whatever we could to elect Donald Trump in 2016. Now we're at the fall stage of 2018, folks. That's why some of you young people out here that think that, oh, I don't want this to happen, it's going to be forever. Nothing's forever, baby. All right? Nothing's forever. And I just want everybody to know that time flies, and appreciate every moment of your life. And I'm not trying to be a fruit bowl or trying to be corny, but I just want to highlight everything, folks, that we're already halfway done with the presidency of the first term of President Trump. I mean, that just goes to show you how time, just like that, it's gone. Time is the ultimate magician. I always tell everybody in the inner circle and in the True Capitalist Radio chat room that. Anyway, folks, let's talk a little bit about President Trump news. And let me tell you, man, they are going after Trump, are they? Oh, my God. At least Mr. Trump, President Trump, he's blasting back. He's blasting back at the fake news media. And the reason he's blasting back at the fake news media, did you hear what the media did to Tiger Woods, for Christ's sake? I mean, it was a media lynching what happened to Tiger Woods just because he was asked about Donald Trump and his feelings on Donald Trump, and he responded that, quote, we need to respect the office. And because he responded that, quote, we need to respect the office, every one of these mainstream fake news media outlets was chastising this man as if he's some sort of a bastard. You know, as if he just farted on everybody's suit or something. I mean, let's be honest here, okay? If everybody's turning on Tiger Woods simply because he stated that people need to respect the office, this goes to show you what dangerous territory we are in as a country today. Because, folks, even though Donald Trump has been president for 2 years, nobody's life has been destroyed except for illegal immigrants and criminals and people who prey on children. Those that seem to be the only parties that seem to be, at a disadvantage in the Trump administration, and thankfully so. But everybody seems to be gainfully employed. Everybody seems to continue to post their selfies on their social media. Everybody continues to play their video games. The football season continues. Memeing continues, etc. What is the problem with Donald Trump? I mean, to be honest with you folks, I have no idea how the hell the media, the establishment, the deep state, everybody has been able to collude amongst each other to bamboozle enough of the United States of America to believe that Donald Trump is some sort of a bad president and that he's jeopardizing national security and that he's doing all this nonsense that all these dumbasses who have been doing it for the past 30 or 40 years have done. Now, I'm glad that the president is blasting fake news media again. And let me tell you, folks, the mainstream media is an enemy of the people. Because they are not informing you, they're not enlightening you about the news. They are trying to carve out a narrative in your head. They're trying to carve out a narrative. They're pushing a perspective. They're not delivering you any kind of unbiased information, any kind of unbiased news. And that's dangerous, what they have done. I mean, case in point, take a look at the times when the media hyped up the black community based on a couple of shootings that happened that were between an officer of the law and a black person. And take a look at the whirlwind of violence that the mainstream media was able to inspire the black community to commit. I mean, come on, man. I mean, this is not a news media. These aren't journalists. These are enemy of the people. I mean, instead of actually giving us news and information, they're trying to make us hate our own president. Do you understand that? They're trying to make us hate our own president when our own president has done nothing but been pro-America since he's took office. And all you've got to do is take a look at everything this man has done in his actions. And it proves that Donald Trump is a man of the people, and he's trying to give the authority of the American government back to the people. Everything that he's passed, all executive orders have been pro-America, 100%. And yet you have this fake news media out here not only chastising him, slandering him, libeling him in every goddamn capacity necessary, but they're also going after anyone who publicly acknowledges that, hey, look, I like the president. Or publicly acknowledges that, hey, maybe we should respect the office. This isn't media. This isn't news. I'm glad he's attacking the media. You know what, Mr. President? Keep attacking the fake news media. Keep attacking them because it pisses them off. And you know something? And the president knows it. If it wasn't for him being here, the media wouldn't have anything to talk about. I mean, literally 95% of the coverage that the president has on these news media outlets is negative. I mean, what else would they be talking about, honestly? And this is dangerous. I'm telling you this is dangerous, and we, those of us that were behind Trump in 2016, and those of us that are backing him up now, we need to back this man up. We need to assert our authority as a people who back up the president. And we need to not be afraid to acknowledge that, yes, this is our president. I back him up. I vote for the man. But you know what the media is going to do? They're just going to continue to slander this man. And let me tell you, folks, I have never seen a president with so much scrutiny than President Trump. How come we didn't get this kind of scrutiny with Barack Obama? Huh? How come we didn't get this kind of scrutiny with Barack Obama? As a matter of fact, they tried, and I'm talking the mainstream media, that tried to hide information about Barack Obama. I mean, that's why Trump was one of the first major members of celebrity that was out here questioning the validity of the birth certificate of Barack Obama. And look, I personally question the legitimacy of the birth certificate, even the reproduced one that they pulled out of their ass out of Hawaii. But I'm going to be honest with you, folks. It's not because I believe that Barack Obama was a foreign citizen. I think he's trying to hide his real father. And I've talked about this many times. His real father is Frank Marshall Davis. And all you've got to do is take a look at a side-by-side between Barack Obama and Frank Marshall Davis to know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I digress. I'm simply stating, where was the kind of media scrutiny that we're seeing on Trump? How come we didn't hear this about Obama? How come we didn't hear him answer yes or no whether or not he's a homosexual? How come he didn't acknowledge the Larry Sinclair allegations? How come 3 members of his Jeremiah Wright congregation, 3 gay members, ended up dead prior to him announcing his run for presidency? How come his grandmother died before he became president? I mean, these are serious questions. I mean, you know, where the hell did you come from, Obama? And what the hell were you doing in goddamn Indonesia? Y'all remember? That's when, for whatever reason, his mother decided to marry Satoru, old man Satoru, and that's where Barry, or Barack Obama, decided that his name during his childhood was going to be Barry Satoru. And by the way, folks, Barry Satoru in Indonesia with his mother and his stepdad, while he was by himself and he needed to be taken care of, he had a nanny that just happened to be transgendered. Look this shit up! Look this shit up! He had a transgender goddamn nanny! How come we don't have this kind of scrutiny that we have against Trump, against Obama? Everybody should know this about Obama. Everybody should know this, but they don't. Because the mainstream, lamestream media sure as hell didn't talk about it. They sure as hell didn't talk about Barack Obama's mother being a porn star either, huh? Hey, look, folks. This is all public knowledge to those of us who have been in the scene out here in the political scene, etc. I mean, this is why I'm telling you, folks, there is a double standard going on between this president and obviously Barack Obama. There is a double standard when it comes to the FBI and the DOJ when investigating Republicans as opposed to Democrats. I mean, I've told you, folks, what happened with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the Anwan brothers. The Anwan brothers had been proven spies. I mean, they were... I don't even want to go into all that. Y'all need to look this shit up for yourself. But I'm just saying, take a look at all this. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the Anwan brothers, the Hillary Clinton email situation, the pay-for-play in the Clinton Foundation, the fact that Clinton, under the FBI directorship of none other than Robert Mueller, and Barack Obama gave 25% of America's uranium to Russia. I mean, give me a break. I mean, what's more collusion than that? And by the way, for you folks that don't believe me, I'm going to repost, thank you very much, Pickles. I'm going to repost Obama's transgendered former nanny right here in Indonesia. Take a look at my gab if you don't fucking believe me. Take a look at my gab. Obama's transgendered fucking nanny. And we wonder why Michelle Obama looks like she's built to play for the 49ers, for Christ's sake. That's a man, baby. Jesus Christ. Anyway, look, I'm digressing here. I'm just simply stating that there is a deep state effort on trying to remove our president. And even if they can't remove him, they're going to try to expose as much embarrassing information as they possibly can about the president in order to make him unelectable for 2020. I mean, and then that's what the objective is right now. That's why they're going after everybody now, okay? I mean, it went from one extreme to the next. Once Paul Manafort was found guilty, and once you had a guilty plea from the president's personal former attorney, Michael Cohen, then it seems as if it's like all systems go for the judicial system to pry anything from anyone who happens to be associated with the Trump. With the Trump, the Donald, let's put it that way, with the president. I mean, take a look. They've given immunity to the guy who owns the National Enquirer. They've given immunity to a former CFO of the Trump Organization. I mean, what are they expecting? What are they trying to do? I mean, I have never seen a president go through so much scrutiny, for Christ's sake, man. And if you want my opinion, folks, Robert Mueller, and mark my words, I've already told the Inner Circle and I told the True Capitalist Radio chat room yesterday, the next target of Robert Mueller is Donnie Jr. I'm not kidding, folks. Watch. Donnie Jr., Donald Trump Jr., is going to be raided here, and it's got to be done soon. Because if Mueller waits any longer, he's going to be accused of trying to manipulate the midterm elections. So in my personal opinion, folks, I think that it's going to happen here very shortly. I'm not going to put a timetable on it because I cannot read the mind of Robert Mueller. But I personally believe that his next move is going to be Donnie Jr., and Donnie Jr. is going to be raided in a very, very embarrassing capacity, much like Manafort was, much like Michael Cohen was. I mean, Michael Cohen, they raided his house, they raided his office, they raided the hotel room he was staying at, for fuck's sake. And this is how the deep state plays, folks. I'm telling you, they're going to get to everybody who's close to Trump because the president's attorney, Rudolph Giuliani, has already asserted that Mueller has told him that he will not indict the president. But that doesn't mean he's not going to indict everybody around him, including his children, including his family. And I'm telling you, when Mueller, because it's not if, it's when. He is going to raid Donnie Jr. He's going to indict Donnie Jr. And when this happens, the president should use all his full executive authority to put an end to this nonsense. Because you couldn't get any more obvious of a deep state coup than all the actions that have culminated up to this point. I mean, we literally have arms of the judicial branch going after our president because of personal business dealings and, using his own money to pay off rendezvous that he had as a private citizen. And this is supposed to what? Convict this man of what? I mean, I even said, and I'm going to say it again, even if they try to go at him with election laws, that he violated election laws are treated, like Alan Dershowitz said, like jaywalking. Nobody is convicted and thrown in jail for election laws, and if they try to do that to Trump, that is unprecedented. So once again, there is a big nothing burger with all this stuff. But if they go after Donnie Jr., I think that it's time for the president to make a move. And I hope that he has enough influence with our military, with the generals, because I believe that he's going to have to use the military and elements therein to take down this deep state. I'm not even kidding around, because let me tell you, unless action is taken, this deep state is not going to stop. They all think they're untouchable. They all think they're above the law. And that's why none of them have gone to jail, folks. None of them gone to jail because they think they're above the law. And I personally believe that the president should use all his authority and use military or the sergeant at arms or somebody to go and arrest, I hate to say it, every one of these characters that have been proven to be politicizing institutions of the judicial system. And I'm talking Bruce Orr and his wife Nellie. I'm talking about Andrew McCabe. I'm talking about James Comey. I'm talking about Rod Rosenstein. I'm talking about Peter Strzok. I'm talking about Lisa Page. I'm talking about Robert Mueller. And I think that aside from arresting these people, there should be an intense investigation that puts these people under intense scrutiny and that brings to light the actual corruption in front of the American people. And we should televise this. I'm not even kidding around. We should arrest all these culprits who are at the highest level of the judicial branch, who have politicized our judicial branch, and we should put them on trial and we should put it on television. So this way the people know what the evidence is against these unscrupulous bureaucrats that think they can usurp the American people's vote. And I'm telling you, these dumbass establishment assholes, and I'm talking the political establishment, they're also involved with this deep state nonsense. I mean, have you heard, after the verdict of Paul Manafort and after the plea deal of Cohen, you had everybody come out and try to warn the president, like Chuck Schumer. I'm warning the president, you better not pardon Manafort or Cohen or anybody. I mean, I'm serious. They're warning the president. These fucking people aren't even they're warning the president. I mean, did you hear Jeff Flake? Jeff Flake is warning the president. Everybody's warning the president. Don't you dare fire Jeff Sessions. Don't you dare pardon anybody, or else. Or else what? He's the fucking president. He can do what he wants. I mean, Obama did whatever the fuck he wanted. Or else what? What is Chuck kick the American people in the balls Schumer going to do? What the fuck is he going to... He's not going to do nothing. What the hell is Jeff Flake going to do? He's not even running for re-election, for Christ's sake. You want to know why? Because he knows he'd lose his ass. I mean, give me a break. That's why I'm encouraging the president, man. Go full throttle at this deep state, man. Use the military, arrest these people, and restore confidence to the institutions of government at this fucking point, man. Add everybody, all these people that are culminating into this coup or conspiracy of a coup, man. Just arrest them all. Because they're not going to stop, Mr. President. They're not going to stop until something happens. And I say you use the military, you arrest these sons of bitches, and you put them on trial. You go in front of the American people and you say, look, I didn't want to do this. I didn't do anything. But now you have a politicized group within the judicial branch that are utilizing the court systems to bring down everyone who I've ever had affiliation with. They're trying to go after my family. I mean, this is just unprecedented for a president. So we are arresting these people, and we're going to investigate what true purpose it is that they have, that they want the president removed. I mean, we've only got 2 years left on this president, man, and this is how ridiculous these people are getting over this president. And I say, Mr. President, go full throttle. I am ride or die with you, Mr. President. I would gladly lay down my life for you if it came down to the point of these globalists either taking over this country or we live in freedom where we belong. I'd lay down my life for Donald Trump. I'm not even kidding around. And you want to know why? Because look at what he's done for us. He's risked his safety. He's risked his fortune. He's risked his family. He's risked everything so that he can run for president and give us, the American people, back the authority over this government. Because we haven't had authority over this government, folks. I've been on this broadcast for 10 years talking about how we have imbalanced trade deals, talking about how we have debts out the wazoo. I've been talking about everything that the president is now rectifying, and I'm telling you, it's a sight to see. And that's why I would gladly lay down my life for President Trump. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding. But once again, Mr. President, if they go after Donnie Jr., just use all your full executive authority to put an end to this. Now, if you can't arrest these culprits, Mr. President, might I suggest one more thing? I suggest going to war. That's right, Mr. President. I suggest not even hesitating when it comes to using the war powers of America at this point in time. Because once we are at war, Mr. President, you can use wartime type of laws to enable yourself to arrest these people in hand. Or at least put an end to their attempt at overthrowing the government. And in my opinion, I think that's what we should do. I think that this would help the president not only sustain his continuity as president for not only this tenure but the next tenure, but it'll also give the president the opportunity and the leverage to be able to arrest the people that have been literally trying to come at him ever since day one. And I think America needs a war at this point in time, folks. Look, I'm not trying to be a war hawk here, but I think America needs a war. We have too many people hollering about socialism. We've got too many people thinking that they deserve to be fed, clothed, housed, and paid just for merely being shitted out of their mother's uterus pipe. And that goes against all life itself on this planet. And that goes against nature itself. Only human beings can be so selfish into believing that because I'm breathing and because I exist, I deserve this, and that. You don't deserve shit. You don't get what you want in this life. You get what you get. And that's why I believe that a war would socially organize America and put many of their political differences aside to sustain the continuity of this country. And it's a win-win for you, Mr. President, because I strongly believe that by going to war, you can utilize your wartime powers to arrest and arrest these people without any kind of opposition or criticism. Your enemies. And I'm ride or die with you, Mr. President. This is something we need to do. I mean, take a look at what's happening. This is something we need to do. And let me tell you, Trump knows that we need to do this. It's not a coincidence that he's already given the military, what is it, almost $1.6 trillion, or maybe a little more than that, during the past couple of years to rebuild the military. 1.6 trillion, man, that's unbelievable. Why do you think that he's given so much money to the military? Because he knows. I mean, even Secretary of Defense Mattis said to troops that he guarantees they will see some action, that they will see some combat time. And I think we need it. I think we need it now more than ever before. And why do we need it, folks? Well, let's just take a listen. Let's take a step back and talk about something else. Y'all heard about what happened yesterday in Jacksonville, Florida, at some Madden 19 NFL gaming tournament at Chicago Pizza in Jacksonville, Florida. None other than a young autistic man. At least I think he's autistic. I mean, who the hell knows? I don't know. He's got some mental problems, let's put it that way. 24-year-old David Katz goes on a mass shooting after losing the Madden 19 NFL Gamer Tournament, killing 2, injuring 11, and then killing himself. Now, why do I bring him up in relation to why we need a war? Because, folks, what have I been telling you about this new form of crazy that we are witnessing right before our eyes? And I talked about this many times in the past, that we are witnessing the consequence of pussy pampering and giving everything to previous generations. Now, this 24-year-old David Katz, according to all reports, was a gamer who actually did this quite often. He would actually travel to different parts of the country and participate in these gaming events, etc. He's initially from Baltimore. According to the FBI, they raided a very affluent townhome. So obviously he comes from some decent money, to say the least. Anyway, according to reports, David Katz was hospitalized twice after the 2007 divorce of his parents. Now, of course, because he was hospitalized twice after the divorce of his parents, he was prescribed antipsychotic, antidepressant medication. And according to David Katz's father suggested that it was the mother who was putting on all these ridiculous mental ailments just so that she could keep the kid with her. So according to the father, throughout the whole divorce from 2007 onward, he suggested that this kid was being used as a Munchausen by proxy subject by the mother. And this is why he was admitted to the hospital twice and prescribed with antipsychotic, antidepressant drugs. 24 years old, folks. Now, for you folks that aren't aware, he got mad because he lost the tournament. And when he lost the tournament, according to reports, he got a gun from somewhere and started shooting people at this event. Now, I want to be honest with you, folks. I don't believe this, okay? I mean, if you believe it verbatim, like the way that the narrative that they're delivering on the media, well, then that just goes to show you that we possibly need to look at mental health as a major issue in our society. But I'm going to be honest with you. I watched the whole goddamn thing transpire on GloomTube, which happens to be some listeners of the broadcast who have their own YouTube little channel called GloomTube. And every time there's something, a shooting or some kind of a mass protest or anything that is American news worthy, GloomTube covers it. And right as this shooting happened, GloomTube started covering it. Now, what they did, and you can actually find the link to this stream on YouTube. But in this stream, he had several different relays of news reports of the local Jacksonville news, and also he scoured the internet, or whoever runs this channel scoured the internet looking for periscopes, looking for streams that are independent of independent people. And what this guy on GloomTube was able to find, he found a black woman who had a periscope who was just kind of standing around the downtown area, around the shooting location, saying, man, I don't know what they doing, man. Everybody just standing around out here. What's going on, man? They're just standing around at this motherfucker. And then, folks, you can look on the GloomTube stream. It's only an hour-and-a-half stream. If you look on the GloomTube stream, folks, a cop is seen on the periscope saying, all right, all you guys in the press, because there was a lot of media and cameras around this black woman, all you guys in the press, let's go over here, let's go this way so you guys can get a better shot from this perspective over here. I mean, I'm not joking. I saw a cop directing fucking media into getting better shots, which I have never seen in my life, first and foremost, okay? Then I continue to research, then I continue to look, and guess what? It's your quintessential false flag modus operandi. And what does that mean? That means that every time you see a fucking mass shooting that's a false flag, what do? They put a police perimeter around, and you see a bunch of cop cars and a bunch of cops standing around, laughing, no sense of urgency whatsoever. You know, it's always a perimeter around the location. The gunman is still loose. They're just kicking back, laughing. People are coming out with their hands out. I mean, it's the same shit, different play. Now, I know some of you are all, well, Ghost, what do you mean? I mean, it's a false flag. How does that work? How does that happen? Folks, how do you know that wasn't a drill? How do you know that wasn't paid? You don't. The only way you can know is by observing things that just look out of the ordinary. Now, let me give you some out of the ordinary things about this shooting. Aside from the documented proof on GloomTube that a cop was directing the media to get better shots of the surroundings. Aside from the cops establishing a perimeter and just hanging around and laughing, talking about their next batch of donuts that they're going to get, you want to know what was a real shooting and wasn't a false flag, folks? Do y'all remember that black guy, that ex-fucking black Muslim that went apeshit in Dallas and started going downtown Dallas and started shooting cops like it was going out of style? There's actually YouTube video of that. Now, there wasn't a perimeter established during that shooting, right? There wasn't cops standing around laughing and being like, wait, hey, stand back, we got a shooter on the loose here. No, you didn't see the type of modus operandi that you see in every one of these fucking mass shootings. A bunch of cops hanging around, people coming out with their hands out. They have a triage of fucking of ambulances. They're supposedly taking care of people at this triage, even though nobody has any blood on them. I mean, it's the same crap. How come we didn't see that modus operandi during that shooting in Dallas? Y'all remember that? That was during Barack Obama's tenure. Remember when that black guy came out? He had a fucking automatic weapon. It was just one guy. And he started going downtown Dallas, started shooting cops and killing cops. I mean, folks, the cops were so scared shitless of this guy that a cop didn't even kill this guy. Remember, they had to send in some fucking state-of-the-art robot to kill this son of a bitch? Y'all remember that? That's what I'm saying. That's what you see when there's a fucking gunman on the loose, man. Some sense of urgency. You know, some sense of panic. Not a bunch of cops hanging out, parking, laughing, talking about the donuts that they're going to be fucking buying in the next... I mean, give me a fucking break! Give me a break! How do people believe this shit? And not to mention, folks, I want to talk about some anomalies with these shootings as well. How many mass shootings are we going to have in Florida? Huh, folks? I mean, this is another shooting in Florida. Jacksonville, Florida. 100 miles from where? The fucking Parkdale school shooting. Unless we forget the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. How come all these goddamn shootings happen in Florida? First and foremost. Secondly, folks, I hate to bring this up because I'm not some alt-right white nationalist asshole, but I'm finding a correlation with all these kids that are committing mass shootings and the fact that they come from Jewish families. Now, I don't know what the hell that means. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why there's a correlation with, like, all these kids that are committing all these massive shootings and them being Jewish. I have no idea. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but folks, look at all these kids that are out here committing all these mass shootings and they're all Jewish. Now look, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm not white nationalist. I'm not a fucking alt-righter. But man, I think that's a very eerie correlation there, man. I mean, am I wrong for bringing that shit up? I'm just asking. Am I wrong? Jesus Christ. And yeah, I mean, look, y'all folks, people in the chat room get it, man. Like, you're right, Ghost. No shit. There's a lone gunman every time, folks. The Pulse nightclub shooting, the goddamn Parkdale school shooting, you name them. You name them, man. I mean, it's a perimeter. You know, there's a bunch of cop cars. The guys are outside. They're laughing. There's a triage. You know, they're always treating people that aren't bleeding. I mean, it's just bullshit, in my opinion. You don't have to believe it. I just think it's bullshit, all right? I just think it's complete crap. Jesus Christ. Anyway, folks, look, I mean, you believe whatever it is that you want to believe, okay? I'm just simply stating that I don't ever see a sense of urgency in these damn mass shootings. And I strongly advise you, please look up the Dallas shooting. That was actually a Black Lives Matter inspired event. Remember that? Take a look at the Dallas shooting, and I'm telling you, folks, there was a major sense of urgency with those cops then, right? Because they were getting shot. And because they did not know how to legitimately confront an enemy with a fully automatic weapon. They didn't know how to go against that. That's why they sent in that robot, Johnny 5 is alive, to go kill that son of a bitch. No cop wanted to go in there and kill that guy that was doing the Dallas shooting. Come on, man, wake up. And what the hell does that say about, like, the police force in America? I mean, one guy in Dallas, which is one of the most well-funded police forces in the country, one guy was able to do all that damage. Just imagine if there was a battalion or a militia group that did such a thing in a coordinated effort. I mean, would they be able to stop them? Would the police be able to stop them? I'm just asking. Anyway, folks, look, I am not trying to tell you what to believe. I am not trying to tell you what view you should go to, but let's just be honest. And let's talk about the obvious. Okay? Let's just talk about the obvious. I mean, there's nothing you can say about everything that I'm telling you. Every one of these shootings has the same MO, man. These fucking goddamn cops. It's a perimeter and a triage and this and that. And then the kids, these kids that are doing mass shootings, all Jewish. I mean, Nick Cruz, the guy that did the Parkdale shooting, he took the last name of his parents that adopted him, which happened to be Cuban. But if you look at his last name, he is a Jewish Russian. Take a look at the guy who just committed this damn mass murder in Jacksonville, Florida. David Katz. Jewish. Take a look at the guy who did the 2012 Aurora shooting. James Holmes. Jewish. Take a look at the kid that started killing people because he couldn't get laid and he was an incel. Elliot Rodger. Jewish. Remember the kid that supposedly did the Sandy Hook shooting. Adam Lanza. Jewish. Lest we forget the 2011 Tucson shooting. Jared Loughner, Jewish. I mean, I'm just saying, folks. I mean, I'm not anti-Semitic, nor am I suggesting anything. But come on, man. Give me a break. All right? I mean, what else do we need to see here? What else do we need to see? Anyway, let me get a drink of some cola here. And I'm going to move on to another subject matter, but please remember that whenever there's another shooting and you happen to be online, go to some channel or somebody that's covering it that's going to give 3 or 4 different screens of actual live action happening, and you know, you'll get to see what exactly is happening, man, because everybody's got a damn video camera on their phone. Everybody can stream. And once again, I also want to, man, I hate to bring this up, but this guy David Katz, the 24-year-old that did the mass shooting yesterday, his father works for NASA. And guess what? Remember David Hogg from the Parkland shooting? His dad works for the FBI. Remember the guy, Mateen, that did the fucking Pulse nightclub shooting? He worked for a goddamn subcontractor for the Department of Homeland Security. I mean, folks, give me a fucking break. Now, I know some of you are saying, hey, Ghost, you know, so what if his dad works for NASA, dude? What is NASA doing? NASA's not nothing. Oh, yeah? Let me explain something to you that I haven't said on the show because I'm not trying to be too conspiracy theorist here, but let me explain to you what's happening. Do you all know that the president is initiating something called the Space Force, which is supposed to be another branch of the military, but specifically for space, correct? Well, do you think NASA is going to be very happy about that? I mean, just based on a bureaucratic funding perspective, do you think NASA is going to be very happy about it? No, they're not happy about it. Now, I want to tell you all this, okay? Because this really happened, and of course, this wasn't on the mainstream media, but you can look this up. During the time, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right after, it was a speech, right after the president had highlighted the Space Force, he was in New Brunswick, New Jersey, at one of his properties, in which at some point in time, something came down from the sky, from space, and actually came down with a parachute, and the box said, "This is not a bomb. Tell the president to have a good round of golf. Signed, NASA." Yeah. Look this shit up if you don't believe me. Google up New Brunswick, NASA, Trump, and you'll find it. Now, what the hell do you think that NASA meant by that to Donald Trump, the president? What do you think that meant? I'll tell you what that meant. That meant that, hey, Mr. President, we can get close to you without any radar, without anyone knowing, and we can drop whatever we want from space in your vicinity, and I don't know, things could happen. That was a message. Look it up if you don't believe me. I didn't cover it because, you know what, folks, I don't like talking about what people would deem conspiracy theory, but, I mean, I'm trying to tell you all what's going on here. All right? I was just trying to tell you all what's going on. And I don't think that it's a coinkydink that this fucking idiot David Katz's father works for NASA, and that the fact that David Hogg's father works for the FBI, and that Mateen, the guy who did the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, worked for a subcontracting company that was subcontracted by the Department of Homeland Security. I'm just trying to tell you, folks, this is what's happening. You can look all this up for yourself. I'm just telling you. Anyway, folks, let's move on to another subject matter, folks. Since we're talking about conspiracy theories and all this other nonsense, let's talk a little bit about Alex Jones. That's right. Let's talk a little bit about Alex Jones here. Now, for you folks that are unaware, and it's a shame, man, because, I mean, Gab is down right now, all right? I mean, Gab is down because they're in the process of switching to their new hosting provider, and there's a short downtime, but by God, folks, I gabbed a photo that showed Alex Jones being caught looking at transgendered pornographic material while he was conducting his InfoWars broadcast. I am not kidding you. I am not joking. This actually happened, folks. And as a matter of fact, not only was I and the True Capitalist Radio chat room on it, but so was Poll and everybody else. Now, what happened was Alex Jones was having his show. And you know how he has that aerial view of him showing off all these papers that he has all over his desk and whatnot? He usually has his cell phone around him as well, just in case, I don't know, Roger Stone texts him or whoever. Well, for whatever reason, Alex Jones had his phone on, like you could see what was on the screen. And you could see that it was a tab history of what he was searching for while he's been online on his phone. And if you take a look at each and every one of these tabs that are open, one of them is actually a transgendered pornographic video. Now, the reason they knew this, or the reason we found this out, is because, first of all, we blew it up. And it said T-Babe Marissa does something. So it traces back this tranny pornography that Alex Jones is looking at on his phone. It traces back to a porn star. I don't know if you want to call it a porn star, but because she doesn't look like a woman. This looks like a man, baby. This ain't no woman. But anyway, Marissa Minx. Marissa Minx is the porn star that Alex Jones was looking at. Now, I want to be honest with you guys, okay? Alex Jones has been having a lot of bad luck with women. He's had bad luck with his wife, his ex-wife. You know, he was recently brought in for a custody battle. He's got a new wife, which, I mean, all accounts, I don't know this for sure, it's his ex-stripper or something to that effect. I don't know what the hell it is. But to each their own. And he's got a couple of children now with her. So he's got a lot of outgoing child support, to say the least, you know. So I was just about to give Alex Jones a little bit of a mulligan and say, you know, Alex Jones is probably thinking, hey, you know, I'm Alex Jones, you know, and I'm always getting screwed over by these women out here, and all I want to do is just get my rocks off, so all I want to do is get myself something that looks like a woman that'll suck the sap out of my balls, or I can bend over in a dark room, and I can pull by the hair, and it still simulates a woman. You know, I don't want to get nobody pregnant. I've got too much goddamn child support. I don't want to do this anymore. So, you know what? I was almost about to give Alex Jones a fucking mulligan on this tranny thing. But, folks, the transgendered porn that he was looking at was not of a man doing a tranny. It was of a tranny doing a man up the ass. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I can't give you a mulligan for that one, Alex. Are you shitting me? What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm not joking around, folks. I mean, this Marissa Minx pornography, and this was on his phone during his show. Marissa Minx, the porno star of this clip, is literally topping the man like he was a low-grade bitch. Like, yeah, you fucking like that? Yeah. I mean, I'm not even joking around, folks. I cannot give a fucking mulligan to Alex Jones on that one, okay? And not to mention, I mean, what the hell's happening to Alex Jones? What the hell is happening to this guy? What the hell? I mean, give me a break. I mean, Alex, what happened to you, man? I know that you had all the social media oligarchs try to ban you and this and that, and then, I mean, can't you keep this to yourself? Oh, my God, I don't need to know this about Alex Jones, man. Hey, shut up, Ghost. I'm Alex Jones, and I take the super she-male vitality so it gives you the big-ass boner so you can whack off to power tops like Marissa Minx and my penis up my ass, my penis up my ass, my penis up my ass. I'm serious, man. I'm taking the super she-male vitality that's giving me the big-ass boner and mixing it with bone broth and making sure my asshole's big and puckered so I can bend over and have some big 6'5" tranny with a 9.5 long head just go ahead and ram my ass like I'm some kind of two-bit chicken. I'm getting stuffed for goddamn Thanksgiving. My filters! I mean, I'm not even joking, man. I mean, is this what happened? Is this the, well, what's happening here, Alex? I'm serious, man. I'm concerned about you now. Is this those estrogen mimickers that you were talking about? Huh? Those estrogen mimickers in the fucking plastic that's turning the freaking frogs gay? Did it turn you gay? And I want to be honest with you, man. I really don't care if Alex Jones, is gay or he likes it up the poop. I really don't give a shit, man. You know what I don't like is that I know about it. That's what I don't like. You know that? Why can't we just put all this freaky, kinky fucking shit back in the closet like we used to? Remember that? I don't need to know that Alex Jones wants to be done up the ass by some fucking tranny with some slag with a meat bag. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to know this. I don't want to know this. And that's been my biggest criticism of the LGBTQ. Because the LGBTQ, they want that to be the first thing you know about them. They want that as soon as you meet them. They want you to know that they take it in the ass. They want you to know that they dive on a muff. They want you to know that they play the flesh flute. I don't want to know that, man. I don't want to know this. Can you just please put this back in the closet? I don't really care. I mean, Alex Jones is a capitalist. I don't agree with him most of the time, but I think he's a lot of things. But I mean, I don't need to know this, man. Why didn't you just keep this in your closet, man? What are you doing? Why are you searching for this shit at work? I mean, what are you doing? You going to the bathroom watching Marissa Minx and what, you're putting large pieces of furniture up your shit funnel, for Christ's sake? Are you putting a fucking bottle of goddamn bone broth up your ass there, Alex? I mean, what the fuck? And let me tell you, when I gabbed about this, believe it or not, most of the people that were Alex Jones fans, well, let me just put 80% of the Alex Jones fans were going to give this guy a mulligan. They're going to let this shit pass. They're going to let it pass after all that garbage about, you don't understand, you got these goddamn estrogen mimickers in the goddamn the plastic, and it's turning the freaking frogs gay. It's turning the freaking frogs gay. Looks like it turns you gay, Alex. I'm sorry, man. All right? And let me tell you, I probably wouldn't say you were gay if you were looking at, a man doing, a tranny that looks pretty passable. You're like, holy shit, is that really a man? I mean, I get it, all right? You have bad luck with women. For whatever reason, you can't pull out. You get them pregnant, and you just want to get your rocks off. I get it, Alex, but goddamn, man. At work? At fucking work? I can't help it, Ghost. It's the super she-male vitality, and it gives me this damn big-ass boner, and I just want to see some tranny pounding my fucking ass like some jackhammer, and while I'm saying, my filters, my feminine penis, my filters, my rosebud ass, my filters. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, folks, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody you know across the internets and throughout the world, let them know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time. Once again, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, ghost.report. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. It's that damn simple. And by the way, unfortunately, Gab right now is transitioning from one server to the next because, you know, you got a bunch of social justice warriors out here in Silicon Valley. So they're doing that, but if once they come back online, go ahead and follow me under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. It's that damn simple. And by the way, we got all kinds of merch going on, folks. All right, you're going back to school. All right, first of the month is at the end of this week. Try to hook it up with some of this clean-ass, fresh-ass merch that we're pushing on ghost.market. All right, that's all you got to type in your browser and add that to your bookmarks, add that to your favorites, ghost.market. We've got all kinds of merch, baby. True Capitalist Radio merch, ghost.report merch. We got Russian hacker merch, baby. I'm telling you, I've been wearing that Russian hacker shirt and people are asking, hey, you believe the Russian hackers did it? And I just tell them, I am the Russian hacker. I am the Russian hacker. So, you know, I am the Russian hacker. And also, we've got some Remove Kebab merch and Ask Me About My Crypto merch. So, go ahead, check it out, ghost.market. And, of course, get yourself some badass merch. And by doing so, you will be supporting the broadcast in many different ways, folks. So, with that being said, we are now in the third hour. Let me go ahead and take a sip of some cola. We were just talking about how Alex Jones has been caught looking at transgendered porn on his cell phone during his InfoWars show. He was caught looking at tranny porn. The porn star that he was looking at was Marissa Minks. And did you know that Marissa Minks actually tweeted a kiss at Alex Jones once all this came about? Oh my God, that is hilarious. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's funny. It's funny. Anyway, let's transition from something that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek humorous to something that's very serious. And I want to talk about Pope Francis, the head of the pedophile cult that is the whore of Babylon, the Catholic Church. Now, if you folks are familiar, the Pope Francis, has been implicated in covering up a massive amount of child sex abuse by a former archbishop, a retired archbishop, Carlos Maria Vingano, in an 11-page statement claimed that Pope Francis knew about the strict sanctions, or the, the canonical sanctions. You know, canonization, canonical, whatever the hell, however the hell you pronounce that, against former Archbishop McCarrick. Theodore McCarrick is the Archbishop in question. That Pope Francis knew about Archbishop Theodore McCarrick's abuse of children, of other priests in the seminaries, etc. Since 2013, Pope Francis knew about this. But guess what? Pope Francis said that he himself, according to the 11-page written statement by Maria Vingano, he claims that Pope Francis rehabilitated McCarrick, and that's why McCarrick was not removed from being archbishop in the Catholic Church, and it was because, and directly because, of Pope Francis. And now that Pope Francis is being personally implicated in this grand conspiracy, folks, of child sex abuse in the Catholic Church, and look, there's already been millions of allegations throughout the years. I mean, how many more people have to be violated? How many more children have to be robbed of their innocence before we start putting a lot of these goddamn people in jail? I mean, Pope Francis, did you hear him and his speech? He asked God for forgiveness because of the, quote, robbing of innocence of children. Can you believe this satanic asshole? And guess what? Pope Francis refuses to talk about his part in covering up alleged sex abuse. He doesn't want to talk about it now. He refuses to answer any questions about it, huh? Oh, how holy of him, huh? How holy of him. Now he doesn't want to answer questions about his part in covering up. Fucking asshole. I mean, anyone who's still Catholic is aiding and abetting a pedophile cult at this point. I'm not even kidding around. If you are still donating to the collection plate and you're still going to Catholic Church at this point, you are aiding and abetting a pedophile cult. I mean, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, I mean, this is... How many more children? How many more millions of children have to be robbed of their innocence, man? I mean, can somebody answer me that? Thank God we have an archbishop that's retired that wrote this 11-page statement, Carlo Maria Vigano, and thank God he is implicating Pope Francis in knowing about this sick, demented Archbishop Theodore McCarrick and his sexual abuse. And of course, what did Pope Francis do? He ignored it and claimed that he had rehabilitated McCarrick. So what does this mean, folks? What does this all mean? Does this mean that the Catholic Church is going to be legally responsible for any of these goddamn atrocities that have happened to children? No. Does it mean that we're going to be raiding archbishops? Does it mean that we could, at a multilateral front, invade the Vatican and start taking these goddamn priests custody and start taking the Pope custody? I'm not joking, man. How can we, as a world civilization, allow the whore of Babylon to continue to do this? How can the world stay silent while the Catholic Church continues to sexually abuse children worldwide? And they have been doing this for centuries. How fucking long? And I talked about this the last time, folks, on Friday, how on a mere allegation, they invaded and raided the goddamn Waco Branch Davidian Seventh-day Adventist compound. And by the way, those allegations of sexual abuse of children in the Branch Davidians was found unwarranted whatsoever in a congressional goddamn investigation in 1996. It was all a bunch of bullshit. All a bunch of crap. I mean, remember Warren Jebs? That polygamous guy that was out there, a Mormon, he had his own compound in Texas as well with all those women with the frontier dresses. On mere allegation. And maybe he did. Maybe he was sexually abusing young children, but did you see how fast they picked his ass up and threw him in prison? How come we can't do that to any of these goddamn priests, archbishops, popes, etc.? Oh, because they're holy, Ghost. You don't understand. They're a bunch of holy men. Oh, yeah? Holy. I think that's an ironic word to use, considering that these men like to molest boys more than anything else. They like the holiest of holies, don't they? These fucking sick pedophiles. And let me tell you something right now. At the very fucking least, we should see Pope Francis step the hell down. But if I want to be honest with you, folks. I want the Catholic Church arrested. I want it taken down. I mean, how dare this institution think that it's going to be untouchable? But it does, just like I was saying before about the folks that politicize the judicial branch, the DOJ and the FBI. These people think they're untouchable. And until people start demanding justice, like I am, and you should, these people are not going to get justice. And that's why those of us should be outspoken against the Pope. We should be calling for the arrest of the Pope. We should be calling for the arrest of these archbishops. We should be calling for the arrest of these priests. But we're not. And I can't understand why. I can't understand why the Catholic Church gets a mulligan on molesting millions of children. I don't get it. I don't get it, and I don't want to get it. But Pope Francis, his days should be numbered because he's refusing to talk about actions that he did to protect a goddamn pedophile. And once again, if you are a supporter, a member of the Catholic Church, you're aiding and abetting this shit. You're aiding and abetting it. You're a sick fuck. Anyway, let me move on to the next subject matter because I don't want to talk about this pedophile cult. All right, you all get it. All right, this Pope he's going to refuse to answer. He's not going to answer anything. Pedophile cult, man. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about some international relations. We got a lot of international relations stuff to talk about. And I don't know if we're going to be able to fit it all in 45 minutes. So we're going to try and do that. Now, First thing I want to talk about here is Iran. Iran claims it has, quote, full control of the Gulf, I'm assuming the Persian Gulf, and the U.S. Navy does not belong there, according to Iran's, I don't know if it's a general or what. Iran has suggested, after making this statement that they're in full control of the Persian Gulf, they have suggested that it could take military action and block other countries' exports in retaliation for U.S. sanctions. Now, I want to know if Iran is actually flexing nuts here or they're just talking garbage. Because I'm telling you right now, man, I don't think Iran has a pot to piss in as it pertains to guarding its own country. All of its military assets are being used in Lebanon, in Yemen, in Syria, elsewhere across the globe. I mean, that's where their strongholds are, is in all these terrorist satellites that these assholes keep funding. I mean, the country of Iran itself does not want the Ayatollah, does not want the governing authority. We talked about this last week, that the Ayatollah is trying to distance himself from his own government. He blamed the country's economic woes. I'm talking about the Ayatollah. He blamed the country's economic woes on the government itself. So that says a lot, like I said last week, for the Ayatollah distancing himself from his own government. It shows that he sees and feels the sentiment amongst the people in Iran, and they don't want to be these assholes in charge of them. They don't want these assholes in charge of them anymore. Now, I want to be honest with you. I dare Iran. How you like that? I dare you to try to close out the Strait of Hormuz and try to, I don't know, take military actions to block other countries' exports in retaliation of U.S. sanctions. I fucking dare you, Iran. I dare you, because I'll tell you something right now, we'd kick the shit out of you. And if we're not going to kick the shit out of you, we'll either send in Saudi Arabia or we'll send in Israel on top of it to do our fucking dirty work on your stupid asses. All right? Iran, your fucking days are numbered. And you can continue to talk all your nonsense. You can continue to flex your nuts. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. You ain't never going to be shit. And watch. Watch what happens to you here in the next year, Iran. You and the Ayatollah and your 1979 revolution is going to be nothing more than a blip or a speck in the halls of history. You mark my words, Iran. Your own people don't even want you in authority. I'm telling you, man, keep flexing your nuts out of this, Iran. Nobody's going to come to your aid. Nobody's going to come to your aid. You're a stupid pissing ground of a country. Nobody's going to come to your aid. especially after Obama generously gave you sons of bitches $260+ billion to, quote, halt your little nuclear ambitions. You don't think that people have a little bit of salt about that there, you fucking dumb Iranian Persian pieces of rug crap? So I dare you, Iran, bring it on, man. Try to stop exports. Try to, sit here and come at the U.S. Navy in the Persian Gulf. Try to block exports in the Strait of Hormuz and see what the fuck happens to you and your sand trap of a country, all right? Bring it on, Iran! Bring it on! We need a good war anyway. Bring it on, you piece of crap. I'm sick of Iran talking trash. Either shit or get off the pot, Iran. We all know that you ain't shit. Your days are numbered. Your country's numbered. I mean, just stop. Just fucking stop at this point. Just stop it. You're pissing me off. Let me get a freaking drink of cola up in here. Anyway, let's go to some more news here. After the president cancels Secretary of State Pompeo's trip to North Korea is going crazy now. It is now on its own state-run media accusing the U.S. of, quote, hatching a criminal plot to unleash war. And you want to know why that is? Because this is the art of the deal. You see, I'm going to be completely honest. Because Kim Jong-un continued to go to China for whatever reason. This was even after the Singapore event between Kim Jong-un and the president. The president got fed up with his shit, all right? And as a matter of fact, I'm liking the president's approach on China, and I hope that we go into a Cold War with China. I'm sick of China. China is a big-ass paper fucking tiger, and their actions in their own region prove it. But regardless, we're going to talk about China maybe later. The president is putting art of the deal on Kim Jong-un. That's why Kim Jong-un doesn't know what the hell to say. He has to accuse the United States of hatching a criminal plot to unleash war. Because did you all see the North Korean coverage of Kim Jong-un's visit to Singapore? I mean, they made it seem as if Kim Jong-un was coming out and that he was going to, make peace with the world, and that all this shit. And now they're going to tell their people that the U.S. is, quote, hatching a criminal plot to unleash war? No, we're not, Kim Jong-un. We're just trying to denuclearize your ass. And I want to be honest with you. Like I've always said, a denuclearized North Korea is really not America's problem. I mean, I think what Trump is trying to do is get the Korean Peninsula at peace so that North and South Korea respect each other's autonomy and there's no more DMZ, demilitarized zone, and we, as the United States military, can pull out our assets out of the demilitarized zone and be completely out of that fucking peninsula. And why is that? Because, as I stated, folks, the more and more Kim Jong-un decides to throw ICBMs in the air, the more Kim Jong-un decides to test nuclear weapons, the more China looks impotent. The more China looks like it's a paper tiger. Because remember, it's China that is feeding North Korea with whatever beans it's supplying in purchasing whatever natural resources like coal from North Korea. I mean, China's feeding these people. And these are supposed to be, since China's feeding North Korea, China's supposed to have some level of influence of North Korea, but the more and more it launches intercontinental ballistic missiles in the air, the more and more China looks incompetent, looks impotent. I mean, how come you can't control the country you're paying for, China? How come you can't control North Korea by merely just pulling its natural resources, which is what you export into their country? You can't, because China, you're a paper fucking tiger. The same reason why you bow down to India. And I'm going to tell you, folks, They are scared shitless of India. I mean, I remember back in 2016, 2017, y'all remember? They were on a war footing, China and India, over the disputed area of Bhutan. And it wasn't until the BRICS summit that China bowed down and kissed the ring of India and literally turned their backs on a historical ally in times of crisis, Pakistan. So I'm telling you, folks, I mean, China, as much as it tries to think that it's some big bad superpower, it is surrounded by hostile powers that hate it just as much as they think they are a big badass superpower. Every one of the Asiatic races hate China. Japan hates China. The Cambodians hate China. The Vietnamese hate China. I mean, all these Asiatic races hate China. They just want an opportunity to start gang tackling China like it's going out of style. And by the way, I do want to put this as a side note. China doesn't know how to produce or invent anything. Haven't you noticed the only thing the Chinese know how to do is copy what's already been built? They're not like Japan that have creative engineering and create their own specific technologies, their own specific products that are engineered and designed by them. No, China, all it does is take other people's shit and then make it their own. And that just goes to show you the lack of creativity that China truly has. And I'm telling you, man, the reason that I don't like China is because they're flexing nuts. They think they're going to be the superpower, and they ain't shit. And that's why POTUS canceling this trip by the Secretary of State Pompeo to North Korea only underscores that the United States really has no dog in this fight, so long as South Korea and North Korea continue to be a peaceful, have some level of peaceful solution. Because if North and South Korea can oblige each other's existence, then they're going to focus against each other. They're going to focus away from each other and then focus around them in the region. Because the region, folks, is ripe for the taking. And I know China thinks it's flexing nuts by saying that it owns the South China Sea. But by doing that, folks, I'm telling you, these Asiatic fucking races are waiting to take out China. Not to mention India, who can probably man them man for man when it comes to population. So anyway, folks, we shall see what happens to North Korea. But like I said, if we start seeing ICBMs being tested, it's now no skin off America's ass. It's no skin off America's ass because, I mean, it just shows that China has no influence in the region to stop countries from launching ballistic missiles in its neighborhood. So that's how I look at it, and I'm sure that's how the foreign policy makers of America look at it as well. Let me take another look at another piece in the international spectrum here. Did y'all hear that far right-wing protesters clashed with leftists after a fatal stabbing by Iraqi and Syrian refugees in Germany, in Chemnitz, Germany? Now, what happened, folks, is that an Iraqi and Syrian refugee went on a stabbing session, and the far right decided to go out and impromptu demonstrate right after news of the immigrant stabbing was kind of plastered all over social media. And this happened on Sunday. You had right-wingers that were going out in Germany and kicking the crap out of minorities. And what do I mean by minorities? I'm talking about refugees, Iraqis, anybody who looked as if they were a part of the 2015 refugee explosion. Well, today, leftist protesters amassed near a giant statue of Karl Marx. Yeah, Karl Marx. They gathered around the statue of Karl Marx to protest the attacks on foreigners that took place on Sunday by the right-wing gathering during that impromptu demonstration. Now, once the leftist protesters today on Monday decided that they were going to protest the far right wing's violence against foreigners, guess who showed up? None other than the far right wing to match up with the leftists. And these far right wing guys were out there with German and Bavarian flags, and they were chanting, quote, "We are the people. We are the people." And unfortunately, folks, what happened thereafter was the right wing and the left wing started kicking major ass. I mean, it was major clashes, and I think this is good. I'm glad to see right wing elements within Germany finally standing up against this ridiculous government of Angela Merkel, who brought in the problem of terrorism via refugee migration. And instead of kicking the refugees out, this dumbass broad is utilizing the refugees as a means to justify totalitarianism in Germany. And that's the truth, folks. Anybody in Germany at this point that has common sense understands this. That's why you have far right-wing protests now happening, because they're tired of it. They're tired. And Angela Merkel, what did she say? Huh? What did Angela Merkel have to say about this? I am Angela Merkel, and I will not tolerate vigilante justice. I am Angela Merkel, and I will make sure to look after the video, and I will go after anybody that do the vigilante justice on the refugee, because I'm Angela Merkel, and you will bow to me, all of Germany. That's what she said. She said that she's going to crack down, and the German government will not tolerate, quote, vigilante justice. Huh? Give me a break. I mean, lest we forget, folks, that this whole immigration refugee problem that's happening in Germany and the EU and the UK, well, maybe not the UK, but the EU, it didn't happen until 2015. And from 2015 to 2018 has been a whole new perception of reality for everybody in Europe. You have women that are being constantly raped like it's no big deal by these Yehudis that were brought in by the EU. And, of course, none of the authorities are doing anything to these Yehudis because, like I told you all, this is a communist experiment. They are attempting to socially engineer all the nation states that comprise the EU. They're trying to socially engineer them by bringing in the Yehudis, doing so much fucking and raping that they eliminate the cultures that comprise the countries of the EU forever. I mean, that's exactly what is happening. That's what's taking place. And thank God we've got right-wing people in Germany standing up and rising up to this communist garbage. And I encourage everybody who is in Germany that is part of the right wing, it's time to raise up, baby. It's time to raise up. How dare this leftist government bring the problem into your country? Remember that, Germany. Angela Merkel brought in the immigration problem. They brought in the terrorism. They brought in the rapist. And they are punishing you. The government is punishing the native people of Germany because the government brought in the problem. And it's time for Germany to raise up, man. It's time for Germany to raise up. This is your opportunity. This is your time. It's time for Germany to do anything necessary, all means necessary to bring down the current German government. Do you understand me, Germany? You've got to do whatever it takes to replace the current government that you have in Germany by any means necessary. Because if you sit by idle, you saw what 2015 to 2018 has brought you. If you stay idle, give it another 2 years, you won't even have the numbers to be able to fight back. And that's why I'm calling on all Germans that are within the sound of my voice. I'm calling on everybody in Germany. Come on, baby! Come on, Germany! Come on and raise up! Raise up against goddamn Angela Merkel! Raise up against the politicians that brought the problem to your fucking country! Raise up any means necessary! Overthrow that son of a bitch! Overthrow fucking Angela Merkel! She brought in the problem! She brought in the terrorist! She brought in the rapist! What more of an excuse do you need, Germany? Fucking Angela Merkel is an enemy of the German people! Angela Merkel is an enemy of the German people! Raise up! Raise the fuck up! You are within your moral, ethical, and legal right to do so. Raise up against that pro-goddamn communist immigrant fucking Angela Merkel! Raise up! You're goddamn right. I know I have Germans that listen in. I look on all the damn stats, and I see a lot of people from Germany. I see a lot of people from the EU. It's time to raise up, boy. Do you understand that? It's time to raise up. Because if you don't do anything, then you are nothing, Germany. If you allow Angela Merkel to eliminate the German identity, then you are nothing. You are nothing, Germany. So fucking raise up, man. Anyway, folks, we got one more subject matter to discuss here on this Monday, last Monday of August 2018 here. I want to talk a little bit about how Russia and Tajikistan deny air raids in northern Afghanistan. Have you heard about this? Now, didn't I just tell you, folks, that we're starting to see Islamic terrorist attacks in Chechnya again? And that this shouldn't even be, because lest we forget, the Chechnyan leader, who is Muslim himself, has dedicated his life to protecting Putin. But yet we still see here recently Islamic terrorism happening in Chechnya, and ISIS is claiming credit for it. ISIS is claiming credit for it. Well, folks, check this out. Northern Afghan province of Takhar, the spokesman of this province, Mohammed Jihad Mohammed Jihad Hijiri, said that foreign fighter jets came in and intervened and dropped bombs on several different locations, but he could not identify whether it was a Russian or a Tajikistan jet. Now, in these airstrikes in northern Afghanistan, in the Takhar area, 8 Taliban were killed, 6 wounded. Now, this comes after, folks, remember last week I had told you that the Russians had invited the Taliban over to a meeting in Moscow to discuss the Afghan region and its future. Y'all remember that? I talked about that last week. Russians wanted to invite the Taliban over to Moscow. They were going to discuss the future of Afghanistan. Well, the Taliban declined. The Taliban declined, and as a result, you have this air raid in northern Afghanistan. Now, of course, both Russia and Tajikistan are denying that they did any air raids in northern Afghanistan, but supplemented that denial with this, Russia's claiming that unidentified helicopters in northern Afghanistan are delivering arms and munitions to the local ISIS and Taliban fighters. Now, folks, what have I told you about that? Our assets, our jihadist assets in black operations and CIA, their objective is no longer to hit up American assets, American targets. Now that Trump's in office. This is why Trump said it was so easy to beat ISIS. He wasn't stupid. He knew. He knew that ISIS was nothing more than a CIA black operation. I mean, give me a break. But now, instead of utilizing those jihadist assets against the United States people, we are now going to utilize our jihadist assets, which we have been in control in since the Afghan-Russian war in the 70s. We are now going to use our jihadist assets against our foes. And I already told you last week when you saw that terrorist act happen in Chechnya, I told you that was the beginning of Russia beginning to have another Muslim problem. I told you that China is going to begin to have a Muslim problem because of the Uyghurs in China that are, if I'm not kidding, that's the name of the Chinese Muslims in mainland China, the Uyghurs. And that both of these countries are going to have a major Muslim problem that is going to be a thorn on their side. And the reason is, folks, is because now the United States CIA and black operations are utilizing these assets that we've had. We're now utilizing them against our foes and our enemies. Now, because Russia is claiming that unidentified helicopters in northern Afghanistan, which, who do you think owns those unidentified helicopters, folks? But Russia claims that unidentified helicopters in northern Afghanistan are delivering arms and munitions to local ISIS and Taliban fighters. Well, the Iraqi government responded accordingly, all right? The Unity Government Deputy Presidential Spokesman Shah Hussein Murtazawi, that is M-U-R-T-A-Z-U, or W-I, excuse me, M-U-R-T-A-Z-W-I, Murtazawi, says the killing of ISIS leader in Afghanistan, Abu Sayyed Oqazai, is proof that the Russians' claims that unidentified choppers are delivering munitions to ISIS, or munitions and arms to ISIS, is bogus. But let's be honest, folks. I want to tell you why Allied forces and United States drones killed Abu Sayyed Oqazai. Because Oqazai, he did not do whatever it is that he was supposed to be contracted for him to do. So the U.S. killed Abu Sayyed Oqazai, which was the leader or the emir of the ISIS in Afghanistan. And that's why we're seeing ISIS in Afghanistan, folks. All right? And what did I tell you prior, for the past couple of weeks? That the new policy of the United States is to open up diplomatic channels with the Taliban. And why are we opening up diplomatic channels with the Taliban? Because, folks, we need them on not necessarily our side, but understanding that the only way that they're going to get a piece of the government is if there is a quid pro quo. A quid pro quo in that these Islamic Jihadis kind of do our bidding against adversaries like Russia and China so that they can have their land in Afghanistan again. They can be a part of the government again. And that's why you're seeing not just the Taliban in Afghanistan, but ISIS. Hence why you have Russia claiming that there's unidentified helicopters in northern Afghanistan that are delivering arms and munition to ISIS and Taliban up there. That's why Russia or Tajikistan, one of the two, made an air raid in northern Afghanistan in the Takhar province to kill 8 Taliban and wound 6 others. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, this is serious. And we, as America, are now utilizing our assets against our foes. And just wait, folks. I've told you that Russia and China are going to have their Muslim problem. This is just the tip of the iceberg. You just wait and see what kind of problems that Russia and China have when it comes to this Muslim situation. You just wait and see. You just wait and see what happens. And why is this happening, folks? Because, folks, this is our new foreign policy. This is our new foreign policy with our new president. And thank God we have a president that's pro-America and that understands foreign policy and that understands how to deal with these types of countries, etc. Anyway, folks, we got about 15 minutes left in the broadcast. I'm going to go ahead and run down the headlines in the Drudge Report, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at what the drudgereport.com is highlighting for the last 15 minutes. The headline on Drudge Report, Lanny blows it. Lanny blows it. Michael Cohen's lawyer has done real damage to the case against Trump. Well, why is that, folks? Because this idiot, Lonnie Davis, which is the lawyer to Michael Cohen, claimed that he had knowledge of Trump doing this and Trump-Russia connection. I mean, he was alleging everything, and you had all these leftists waxing their carrot and spitting on their hand. Yeah, come on, Lanny Davis. You got it all, don't you? You got payments, you got Russian collusion, yeah. And you want to know why Lanny Davis said this? Because, folks, he said this on CNN at the same time he was promoting his supposed client, Michael Cohen's GoFundMe account. Yeah. So basically, he was promoting all this crap that Michael Cohen supposedly knew so he could pump money in that GoFundMe account for Michael Cohen so that Lanny Davis, Michael Cohen's fucking lawyer, could get paid. And guess what? Lanny Davis came out today and said, well, you know, we really don't have that information about the president. We don't have any information about him and Trump or Russia. We don't have any. We kind of, you know, embellished a little bit. Let me give you his quote. His quote is, I should have been more clear, including with you, that I could not independently confirm what happened. I regret my error. Oh, I mean, isn't that a little late after all these stupid schmucks were fucking donating to the GoFundMe of Michael Cohen? Folks, take a look at this. And you know what I find? The kind of people that would fund these assholes that are going to GoFundMe to get money, you should all burn in hell. You know, Andrew McCabe went on a GoFundMe and got like $100,000. Peter Strzok got on a goddamn GoFundMe and got over $100,000. I mean, who's doing this? Who's donating money to this crap? And why? These are corrupt pieces of criminal crap. So once again, the headline is, Michael Cohen's lawyer has done real damage to the case against Trump because his own lawyer lied. His own lawyer lied to plug this fucking GoFundMe account so he can get paid. All right? All right, that's it. All right? Anyway, let me move on. What is this? Could Trump's missing signature force him to be deposed? What the fuck is this? All right, this is out of the WRAL.com website. It's titled, Could Trump's Missing Signature Force Him to Be Deposed? By Alan Fuhrer of the New York Times. In the history of presidential scandals, it is often the hidden things that end up proving decisive. Think, for example, of Monica Lewinsky's stained blue dress or of Mr. Richard M. Nixon's secret Oval Office tapes. But in Donald Trump's recent scandal involving Stephanie Clifford, the pornographic star known as Stormy Daniels, something that was never there to begin with could play an unexpected role. The missing item is the signature Trump failed to place on Clifford's non-disclosure deal 2 years ago. Ah, Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? This is news? Oh, God. Listen, all right? If a man wants to take money out of his own personal account and pay some stupid bimbo to shut her goddamn mouth because he used her body as a fucking sexual playground, it's his right to do it! And you know what they're trying to pull? They're trying to say, well, Clifford or Stormy Daniels was paid $130,000 just before the 2016 elections not to speak publicly about the affair. And in admitting to a scheme, Cohen not only implicated himself, but possibly his former boss in a violation of federal campaign finance law. Wait a minute. How in the fuck can you sit here and say that this violates campaign finance laws when you clearly said that he paid this stupid skankosaurus, can't keep her fucking leg or mouth closed slutbag, that he paid her $130,000 before the fucking election? How the hell does that violate federal campaign finance laws? You people are reaching. You people are pathetic. I'm telling you, people are pathetic. Make me sick. Anyway, the next goddamn headline is about John Turncoat McCain, and I could care less. The next headline is about the Pope. We already talked about that stupid, silly son of a bitch. Let's talk a little bit about, what is this? Coffee delivery drone predicts when we need caffeine? What the hell is this? A coffee delivery drone could predict when you need a caffeine boost. What the hell is this? Your cup of joe could be coming to you via drone. Okay. IBM has filed a patent for a device that will deliver coffee by air when it decides you need caffeine. Really? Is this news, Drudge, you fucking idiot? Give me a break. I mean, this was like 2 paragraphs. Who cares? Hey, here's your coffee by drone. That's great. Let's expose it to all the polluted water vapor and the smog in the air and the bugs. Here's your fucking goddamn coffee by drone. Here you go. Jesus Christ, man. Let's move on, all right? What else do we have here? Shocking trend. Pet owners abuse own animals to get drugs. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Shocking trend. Pet owners abusing their own animals to get drugs. I gotta read this, man, for Christ's sake. Some people desperate for drugs, folks, all right, injure their own pets to get narcotics from their veterinarian. DEA officials are warning doctors. One case that garnered international attention, a Kentucky woman used her husband's disposable razor blades to cut her mixed breed retriever, Alice, on multiple occasions to get an opioid painkiller. I remember my initial feeling of disbelief. This can't be real, said Elizabethtown police officer John Thomas, who investigated the case. It was shocking. I mean, no shit is shocking, man. Are you kidding me? What kind of a sick human being are you to abuse and hurt your fucking own animal, your best friend, you know, because I need a fix of opioid, dude. You just don't understand it. Fucking opium, dude. I just fucking need it. I just need it right now. I just need it. Just need a little bit of it, dude. Come on, dude. Just give me my fix. Here, let me beat my dog. Come on, give me my fucking fix. Jesus Christ, you sick assholes, man. I mean, where are we going with all this? That's all I got to say. Where are we going? Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's move on here. Oh, what is this? Soothing music before bed could prevent heart attacks. You know what's better than that, folks? Drinking a glass of water before you go to bed will actually help prevent a heart attack, all right? I'm just saying, most heart attacks happen when you're dehydrated, and that's why staying hydrated is very important. That's just my opinion. Let's move on, all right? We've got a study, air pollution causes huge intelligence reductions. Are you kidding me? What is this? Where are they? Where is this from? I mean, they're showing a Chinese person on the goddamn picture. So, I mean, if it's China, I don't care. So what? Hey, how come China always gets a mulligan when it comes to polluting the air or polluting the water, etc.? I mean, give me a fucking break. Oh, my God. Anyway, let's move on here. Czech PM calls for no illegals in Europe. I mean, come on, man. Broadcaster defends not covering grim murder by refugee. Man, look, the bottom line is this, folks, all right? I mean, out there in Europe, if you are taking a refugee side over your own native country, then maybe you should get the fuck out of the country, okay? Maybe you don't belong in that country. I mean, this is what you don't understand. If you're going to allow somebody in your country, they need to oblige your way of life. They have to oblige your lifestyles. They have to oblige all of you and your country. I hate the fact that we've got these fucking people coming into our country and they're wearing the hijab. They're wearing these fucking garments like they're in the middle of the Zulu Africa, you know, these Mumbukus and shit. I'm tired of it, man. If you come to America, you dress like us, you have our lifestyle like us, and if you can't, then get the fuck out of the country. Then get out! Get out! Anyway, let me move on here. Oh, speaking of BuzzFeed, since we were talking about microchip, did you hear that BuzzFeed now is begging for donations? It is begging for donations because it is having a little bit of money trouble, huh? And look, it's not just exclusive to BuzzFeed. I mean, the general media in general is having a hard time monetizing itself. You know, but I don't really care that BuzzFeed is losing money. I mean, I hope it goes under, if you want my opinion. I mean, did you hear that BuzzFeed is now doxing people to try to get people to read its rag of a goddamn publication? Did you all hear that I'm talking BuzzFeed, just doxed the guy who writes for The True Pundit? TheTruePundit.com is an independent operation that was once ran by a guy known as Thomas Paine, 1776. And he's an independent journalist who's been putting out stuff for the past couple of years. Now, BuzzFeed, for whatever reason, decided that it would take it upon itself to dox this guy from The True Pundit and unearth the history of this man. He is a 51-year-old man. I'm not even going to say his name, but he was a former journalist that unfortunately had an unfortunate incident with the FBI. And according to the BuzzFeed article, that's the reason why he has such a disdain on writing these articles about the FBI, because this man was raided by the FBI early in the 2000s, mid-2000s, because he was pirating hockey games. Yeah, he was pirating hockey games, so they decided to raid this man's home, put guns in his face, in his wife's face, in his children's face, just because he was pirating hockey games. And BuzzFeed was trying to make a correlation on why he hates the FBI. I would hate the FBI too if they did that to me because I was pirating fucking hockey games. You couldn't knock on my door? I mean, this is ridiculous. And let me tell you, I hate to think this. But I mean, I hate to think that I had something to do, and this fucking show had something to do with all this fucking doxing that's going around right now. I hate to think of it, man. It's a shame. It's sad. It's pathetic. But, you know, what are you going to do about it, man? What are you going to fucking do about it? Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, BuzzFeed's looking for donations, you know? And by the way, man, I don't understand why BuzzFeed's looking for donations. I mean, doesn't all the Silicon Valley oligarchs love BuzzFeed? I mean, don't they have advertisers? Don't they? Well, I mean, what do they need more money for? I mean, isn't BuzzFeed the ones that throw out all those stupid videos on YouTube about, here's a bunch of fruits counting how much testosterone they have in their little fruit bowl, little soy boy bodies? I mean, isn't it that fucking rag of a publication? Anyway, folks, I mean, it's not like yours truly, who's been banned everywhere, who's been banned from every social media, who's been banned from everything, for Christ's sake, who's been demonetized from everything. That's why I always tell everybody, man, if you appreciate the content on this broadcast, then go to ghost.report, click the cryptocurrency wishing well, click the cryptocurrency wishing well, throw some cryptocurrency and make a goddamn wish. All right? Aside from your wishes becoming true, you'll be helping the broadcast, to say the least. All right? You'll be helping the damn broadcast. Anyway, folks, let me take a couple of more of these headlines. Let me see, which headline do I want to discuss here? 1 in 7 adults use pot. 1 in 20 adults use e-cigarettes. Do I really care? Who gives a shit? Good God. Oh, what is this? Historian. Online insults, nothing compared to public slander in ancient Rome. Okay, let's end it with this. All right? Let's end it with this. Today's online insults are nothing compared to public slander in ancient Rome, and people need to be more thick-skinned, says a top historian. More than 2,000 years ago, the famous Roman politician Marcus Cicero once accused his enemy Claudius of incest with his brothers and sisters. But far from being shocking to people living at the time, this type of an insult was just part of a normal everyday life, according to one prominent historian. Dr. Martin Genie of the University of Dresden says modern insults are nothing compared to those flung around in ancient Rome. According to the historian's findings, Romans could be even more cruel than the trolls of today and would often stoop to sexual slurs to insult their opponents. The professor went on to say, withstanding and overcoming insults can ultimately have a political stabilizing effect in society, with those who engaged vile taunts often working together in the near future. I mean, isn't this where politics was born, for Christ's sake? I mean, isn't this what the President Donald Trump said during 2016 when he was debating all these Republicans, that, you know, when they're on that debating stage, they're all going for each other's jugulars and talking about each other's business dealings and their families and their past. And then once everyone's off stage, President Trump's amazed that all these guys are gathered around and having a drink and, hey, how you doing? Everything's great. Like nothing ever happened. Like nothing ever happened. That's politics for you, for Christ's sake. Anyway, I've had just about enough of this, folks. I think that's about it for today's broadcast, to say the least, on this Monday. Once again, this is episode number 610610. All right, this is August 27, 2018. I will be back once again on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time. Of course, on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, ghost.report. All right, ghost.report. And by the way, folks, I know that right now Gab is down, is going to be down for the next couple of hours. But once it comes back up, follow me on Gab under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost. All right, and once you do, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you got to do is click the subscribe button for premium content. Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name so I can give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. As a matter of fact, I will be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room here in about 20 minutes. So if you want to come kick back with me, come on down, baby. Come on down to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. And by the way, I hate to reiterate this again, but next month in September, we are going to be mailing out physical newsletters to everybody who is subscribed for premium content on Gab, straight delivered to their house monthly. A monthly newsletter. I'm not even kidding around. All right? I mean, that within itself is worth the premium content, man. I'm telling you that right now. Anyway, folks, I once again will be back this Wednesday. I hope that you tune in with me. I hope that you tell everybody across the internets and throughout the world that we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Standard Time, Central Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time. Ghost.report is the official website. And one more again, folks, if you want some merch, all right, if you want some True Capitalist Radio merch, if you want some Ghost.report merch, and I love the Ghost.report merch. Have you seen it, man? I mean, it's got Ghost.report on the bottom front, and in the rest of the torso region, it's got yours truly's face with Donald Trump's hair, baby. I mean, that's just awesome. It's awesome. So check it out if you want to buy some merch and kind of make yourself look a little fly this semester while at the same time supporting the broadcast. Then type this in your browser, add this to your bookmarks, add this to your favorites. The following, Ghost.market. That's all you got to do. Ghost.market. Type that in your browser, add that to your bookmarks, add that to your favorites. That's where all the True Capitalist Radio merch, that's where it all is, baby. That's where it all is. Anyway, I'll be in the chat room here in about 20, 25 minutes. Come on down if you want to chat with me, folks. I am out of here on this Monday. I will be back this Wednesday. Please be there, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you very much for tuning in with me. And by the way, whether you love me, whether you hate me, thank you for listening. Especially those that hate me, man. Hey, thank you for listening. You can't stay away from me, can you? Huh? You can't stay away from me, can you? Huh? Anyway, folks, I am out of here. Long live the capitalist army, and death to feminism, death to socialism, and death to communism. I'm out of here. I'll be here Wednesday. You better be here too. Bring everybody you can, baby, on True Capitalist Radio this Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm out of here. Woo!